Hello and welcome to Vtuber Talk. I'm your host Jay and thank you so much for joining us today. For those of you who haven't been here before, Vtuber Talk is designed after classic late night talk shows. Everything here is live, casual, and the goal is to simply have a good time and fun conversation with the guests.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. And speaking of guests, hello Mint.
Hi dude, how you doing?
I'm doing quite well, and judging from the dink donks in chat and the many just insane emotes that we had throughout the pre-show, I can tell most folks here are already familiar with you, but for anyone who might not be, if you could introduce yourself.
Yeah, hi, I'm Mint, and I used to say I play retro games, which I do. That's not inaccurate,
it is still
but
technically true.
Very true. Yeah, I'm playing Chrono Trigger. That game's amazing. But I'm a dog and I like kicking it on the computer. That's basically all I want out of streaming, is to just have a good fucking time too, Yeah. It's a good goal. Also, I'm so zoomed out on your end. I'm just thighs up. It's crazy.
I mean, I can move you around. We can go, whoop, nope, that's me. There we go, yes. We go here and
Yeah, something like that. Yeah, there we go. Yeah,
yeah.
I don't know, because usually, I don't know, as a VTuber, you're mid-waist up. Usually, right? Despite everything down there existing. Yeah, there you go. Okay, yeah. Now that's, yeah. There we go. There we go.
Yeah. Also, thank you to Tommy Watt's Dark Lord Dantalin.
I always have a hard time reading their name. I just say Dark Lord at this point.
Dark Lord, John's Ashes, Calfren, Starlight, Arson. Ooh, Arson, Starlight, I guess stars are technically arson in themselves. And
yeah,
Verdes,
sure.
Thank you so much for the follows. Welcome on in. And, whoopsies. Nope. I'm jumping all over the place today, aren't I? There we go. Also, Chunk Beef Thrust, thank you for the follow. And Mint, I've been waiting to ask you a very important question for a long time. I've been looking forward to this.
Yeah, I've also been looking forward to this. I'm sorry for being all other VTubers a flake, but I'm here, and that's all that matters.
No worries. But the very important question, the question of the hour. How you doing?
Dude, you know what? I was literally just about to echo you. I was about to say, how you doing? But no, dude, I'm doing great, honestly. I got up before noon. Look what you've improved my life in one day. I got up out of bed before noon. There was still AM on the clock when I woke up. That's crazy. So I'm doing real good.
I feel like I don't know if this is a good thing or if I've somehow disturbed the laws of nature.
It can be both. There's nothing wrong with treading in God's garden. You can have a little hubris as a treat. Yes, I think.
Just as a treat.
Dentalian. Oh, that's it. You probably even said that to me before, and I completely spaced it. I'm so sorry. My brain's not that big. Okay.
Don't worry. I'm so bad with names that. In real life, even I'm bad with names.
Yeah.
I'm good with faces, and I will remember your face just enough to know that I've forgotten your name.
Yeah, that's perfect. That's perfect.
It is my constant struggle.
I feel like that's not that
bad. But that your name and your face, to me, certainly are familiar ones that, I've been aware of you for, gosh,
forever.
A long time.
Yeah.
It feels like forever.
Yeah. 2 years would be, I got partner in June 2022. Oh my god. That might as well be another universe, another timeline. That's not the word, but you know what I mean.
Another era.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
But speaking of eras, you actually just started the new Dog 2.0, or would this be 3.0?
Yeah, this is 2.0, and that's it's Zuni and Grape. They've both done. It took a while, but it's here, and I'm very happy with it. It was a journey, and I got another outfit with it and everything. Look at that! I can press a button, and look at that! I can just press it. Oh god, I don't know if that's gonna fuck with the software. I should stop.
No,
I should probably stop just to be safe. Okay, good.
Yeah, but I guess, if we had done this, a couple of months ago, I wouldn't have my model anyways either, so it all works out.
That works out perfcally. Thank you for tolerating, waiting. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
I'm happy we're here, too.
And that I posted about it on Twitter that I always make a point to talk with my guests before the actual show. Just, icebreaker and, figuring out what topics are going to be good for conversation. And then usually I say, it'll be about 30 minutes. But sometimes...
Wait, was that supposed to be 30 minutes? I'm so sorry.
Well, no.
I Midwest goodbye'd you.
No. More so, I say that for the guest's sake to make sure they know that I'm not asking, like, excessive commitment from them. But sometimes conversations just get rolling. And yesterday we went for 2 hours. Just,
Was it really 2 hours?
Discord says call time is 2 hours.
You know what? There are way worse things to have happen.
Exactly,
That's good.
And I will say that anytime we get that, I've started calling them lost media episodes of just, that was effectively like an episode of Vtuber Talk, but it was just completely off the air. That nobody will ever actually see that. It was not recorded. It will never see the light of day. But anytime that there ends up being a lost media episode, that is a very good sign. And that we wound up talking about so many different things, just crazy things that we've seen, things we want to see. I actually made a point. I was telling you yesterday about a series called The Booth at the End.
I found torrents. I have been downloading that all night. They're not very well seated, but that's okay. I'll get them eventually.
That's initially what I thought I had to do too. It turns out they're actually on a couple of the free, like, legit platform sites that it's on.
Well, shit. Okay.
It's Tubi or something. But there's, like, actually a couple of high quality ones. So I will actually send you that. And that I binged the entire first season last night. That I finally was like, I was talking about it with Mint, and I really want to see it. And it's 5 episodes. Each episode is 25 minutes
short?
or less.
Oh my god! Okay, it's really short. Okay, yeah. It sounds fucking fascinating. Can I mean, you should give the synopsis for it in chat, or not in chat, and you should tell them what it's about, because the idea is, like, crazy interesting.
Yes, that it is a series about a man who sits in a booth at a diner, and he sits in the booth at the end, and people come to this man wanting things, and he is able to make any request be fulfilled. Anything that you want, anything that your heart desires. And people will come to him saying, I want to be prettier, or I need money, or I want to hear the voice of God again. And whatever you want, he can make that happen again. If you fulfill a task.
Sounds so good.
The tasks can be monotonous. They can be something big. Certain tasks he asks of people are, you need to protect a child for 10 weeks. Make sure that no harm comes to her. Or you need to find someone who is a recluse and get them to come out of their house. Or you need to steal $100,000 from a bank. And that you then need to go
get that Nixon mask
and tell him about what you did, how you did it, how you felt while you were doing it. That $100,000 is not going to him. That he doesn't care what you do with the $100,000. You could burn it, you could keep it, you could spend it, invest it, whatever. As long as you steal that $100,000, complete the task as written, you will have what you want. He does not say or promise that doing these tasks are the only ways to achieve what you want. There's always choices, there's always options. But if you do the task, you will get what you want. And it is that type of Faustian bargain of, do you know what you want? Do you ask
I like that
you
use Faustian bargain for that.
Are you able to go through with the task if it is something that is perhaps monstrous?
I think maybe the setup also is important. The fact that it all takes place, like, in the booth.
Yeah, that it's
right. Like it is just all conversations.
It is all in this diner. There is no action. You only see the people who he comes to speak with, and occasionally, like, random shots of other servers at the diner. But
that's awesome.
It is all
that's the part
this
that I like.
This single little venue that the filming is, in technical and practical senses, as simple as can be.
That's so cool. I don't know, the whole thing being like this booth conversation is amazing.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a good idea for a series, because I mean, I think they're like, I was like initially like, okay, I like Faustian bargains and pacts and, people experiencing the fallout of their own hubris, but like also limiting it to like conversations at a diner table is really clever. I think I really like the sound of it.
Also, I found that it's available on Roku and Tubi for free.
Oh, awesome! Okay, cool. My TV
season,
has that.
Because I watched the first season on YouTube, and you can see it's sort of grainy, and then I was like, wait a minute, maybe I can see, because this is just a short series from, it's like 2010 or something.
Yeah, the age of it shocked me, too. I feel like this is something that would have come across, like, My Dinner with Thousand. Good bit.
But that's
I love the My Dinner with Andre Simpson's arcade cabinet. I still think it's like one of the funniest visual gags ever. I love Bon Mot as like one of the directions for the joystick. Like, what a bit that is.
But yes,
it's so good.
A friend had suggested this series to me a while back, and I watched the first episode and was like, oh, this is great. And then was busy and wasn't able to pick it up, but it came up in our conversation yesterday, and after we finished last night, I was like, I just want to watch it right now. And so I did, and
hell yeah!
And I had forgotten actually how short it was, so got through season 1, and I'll probably watch season 2 tonight.
Yeah, especially if it's 25-minute episodes. I was expecting
5 episodes a season.
Man, I guess 47-minute ones would be kind of rough. It makes sense.
It was very clearly written with a beginning and end for the story.
I love when things are written as complete things. So fucking, I'm so tired of like, even if a TV show is good, knowing that like, it is written to continue as long as possible and not actually tell a full story. It drives me insane.
I don't mind if you need multiple seasons to complete your story.
Oh no, me neither.
That's great. I usually want my shows to be at about 2 or 3 seasons. I want you to be able to have time as a writer and as actors to be able to explore the characters and really let things breathe. I don't want it to be so fast that it feels like, all right, everything is exposition and action and we don't have time for any fluff at all. But I also don't need 9 seasons of fluff.
Yeah, I mean, that's also like, especially with older TV when seasons used to be long. Like I still like every now and then I still like put Stargate SG-1 on and like leave it on a loop because, you know, it's like 10 seasons. It's like 234 episodes, which is insane. But like 26 episode seasons like did give shows room to breathe and do fun little silly side stuff. Because like so much of TV now has to be like super directed because you only have like, you know, 8 episodes, 9 episodes or whatever a season.
It's
and
weird
I miss the lackadaisicalness that allowed for sometimes, I think.
Yeah.
I want a goofy side episode where Goku learns how to drive, you know?
Oh my gosh. There are not enough episodes of characters just learning how to drive and do everyday things.
Exactly. I mean, Goku, like that one show you want to... Yeah, Pantheon. Oh, I feel so bad for everyone involved in the production of that television show. Like, so bad. It was a really good... It's based on a series of short stories written by Ken Liu. He's a sci-fi writer. But they wrote a 2-season show. It was a full story, 2 seasons, and fully produced, but AMC trash canned it as a tax write-off because nobody fucking watched the thing, and this 2nd season disappeared until it showed up on Amazon New Zealand at some point.
Only Amazon New Zealand.
Only Amazon New Zealand. Nowhere else in the world. That's the only place you can find the 2nd season legitimately, but the actual people who worked on it were like, you can...
Licensing is
okay.
weird.
It's okay. You can pirate this. You have our blessings.
It's so interesting how the pendulum has swung from one extreme to another in terms of series development, and because like you mentioned that nowadays things are usually going to be 10 episodes, that they're going to be very concise, and that they will be set so that they can conceivably end after one that they can conceivably end after 1 season, but also leave just enough open that if the series is successful, that they can have more. Whereas, 15 years ago, linear broadcast TV, everything is built, especially in the West, to be entirely episodic. That things of, Friends, How I Met Your Mother, The Simpsons, even things like Psych, White Collar, NCIS, what have you.
Yeah.
It's largely episodic because they want you to be able to just, if you've never seen this show before, it doesn't matter what episode you
can hop in.
You can hop in and it's accessible, and you can't do that if you are running a contiguous, coherent story, really, that you can have sort of, at the beginning and end of episodes, there will be sort of brief
a
scenes
tiny bit
that
of serialization.
have sort of a thread that you usually get sort of a payoff for the season finale, but that's it. And that when it comes to the season finale, they can show a previously on whatever recap that gives you all those scenes in a nutshell. So even if you just tune in for the finale, it's still accessible in that way. But now it's gone so far to the other end where, like you said, everything is 8-10 episodes and very, very concise, and that you can sometimes have too much exposition, and we're sort of wiggling around and trying to find that middle ground, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. Also, you've teed up the nerdiest shit I've ever complained about.
Oh,
So
please.
I'm thankful that you brought up episodic and serial storytelling in TV, because I was thinking about okay, here it is. I feel like if you were like alive in the 90s, it got made fun of like a lot as a stereotypical nerd show, but fucking Babylon 5, my dude. Are you familiar with that?
I know of Babylon 5.
It is the thing with it is that they tried to do modern serialized TV storytelling in the mid-90s. So like if you missed an episode, you were fucked. And I get why that means, like, I get why it led to its failure. I mean, it still got to tell its whole story. Shut up, fake thrower! You can't do this to me. Look, I got called out by one of my own viewers. That's so fucked up. That's messed up,
they
man.
know you so well.
But no, yeah, I bitch about this often, but like it's excellent. It's like it has so much ambition, and it does modern TV storytelling, and they got totally screwed by doing this idea where, you know,
literally
or doing this idea
time.
in the 90s. Yeah, like you couldn't do it then. You just couldn't.
Well, apparently they did to some degree, because it was 110 episodes and 16
Did they really
films.
Did they really get 110? Jesus. But yeah, it deserved more still. Like it has like a 10th of the budget of Star Trek, but like 10 times the ambition. And like they really go for it at times. It's real good. It's real good. Also, it does have the misfortune of it was shot on film for the live action segments, but it was the 90s, and they decided that they wanted to use cool 3D graphics. Except it was 1993, so for all the space bits, they were rendered on Amigas. So those renders only exist at 480p. So like all transfers of the show are, you know, like beautiful film transfers, and then if there are special effects shots, it suddenly dips down to like 480p VHS quality. It's such a tragedy. It's such a fucking tragedy. No, it's not terrible. It's not terrible CG. It doesn't take you out of it. It's very video gamey looking, like 100%. It looks like a cutscene in an FMV game, but like it works. It works. They work with it, I think.
It makes me remember.
They leave it up to this like spaceship shots and like planet shots up the CG rather than like whole characters or whatever. So it's not ever that egregious. Yeah. There's always, oh no, Jazzle,
we
don't say
don't
that.
need upscaling, no.
No.
I will take...
Upscaled, 60 FPS.
Oh god, that's always so disorienting.
It's not just disorienting, it's disrespectful to the art. Oh god, look, it's happening again. The people who interpolate anime to 60 frames per second are demons, like genuinely.
Like, why would you do that? It's not even how it's literally meant to be.
They're literally just pulling frames from the ether.
Is not supposed to process that way.
No, it's just not drawn that way. There is 17 drawings a second, 18 drawings a second, and if you're boosting it to 60, you're inventing, you know, 33, 34 frames out of nowhere. It's gonna look like shit no matter what, 44 even. I know how to do math.
You have the uncanny valley when it is between real and unreal. And what they've done is they've gone so far past real that they've entered a new uncanny valley past reality itself. That I remember, like, even high budget movies that I saw.
I love hyper reality.
It was The Hobbit. It was Hobbit.
That one was shot at 48 though. That one's a weird exception to it.
But they then also had HFR screenings, and just watching that movie in HFR still was just.
Did it have the like soap opera effect to it?
Yes, that's exactly it. Of just
yeah. Interesting.
It looked unnatural. It was smooth, and yes, but there was just something about it that it didn't work.
I don't think I've ever seen the
high
HFR
quality.
thing.
I'd never seen it before, and that I've seen maybe 2 movies in HFR, and it's just it's so strange. It's difficult to describe because it's not bad, but it is read by the eyes as unnatural.
Yeah. I mean, I forget what are movies normally. It's 24, right? For regular
24
film.
Or 30, somewhere in there.
30.
I think. I think it's usually 24. I'm thinking 30.
Either way, yeah, I never got a chance to like actually see The Hobbit in high frame. I am curious because I mean, like, it's actually shot at 48 rather than shot at whatever, and then an AI spits out extra frames. So like, I do want to see that, but I definitely think it's fucking weird as hell. Honestly, like, I don't know. I think maybe gamers ruined this discourse also, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like okay, with video games 60 FPS is correct,
Yeah,
but
yeah, if it's a game, sure.
Yeah, but anything else, like, something is suddenly not good just because it's 60 frames per second.
I've seen good music videos. Like, there can be good animation at 60 FPS if it was made that way.
Yeah, exactly.
If
It was, those frames really exist.
Yeah, again, like you said, if it's rendered that way with computer animation or even just normal animation, it can be done. It can look really, really good. But that it needs to be intended,
Oh, are you familiar with Worthy Kids, the animator?
I'm not.
I was talking about them with my Discord the other evening. They're a really interesting animator because like they go out of the way to make themselves look like 2D handmade, but or not handmade, but 2D. But they do it all in Blender, and it's kind of incredible. Like they go out like here. I'll link it to you.
Yeah,
it's fascinating.
Oh, they did Big Top Burger. I know this.
Yeah, they did. Yeah. That's all done in Blender. That's not regular 2D anime. Yeah. Right? That was my reaction too.
The only thing I can ask is why.
I don't know. He goes hard. He goes so hard.
Big respect
it's crazy.
for it, but at the same time, I'm trying to figure out. It doesn't. This is part of me not being an animator, but to my knowledge, limited as it is, I don't feel like Blender is the optimal platform for that type of animation. That if you want to make that, you can probably do it in other ways
don't know.
Easier. I'm so curious if there's some logistical reason or some creative reason why they chose that.
Yeah, it's like they've done like tutorials, but I don't know if they've ever like talked about it. But like they really, I'm amazed by it, honestly. They did like this special that looks like 70s Japanese stop motion puppet show. Have you seen that one?
No.
Katen Yajima. It looks like actual stop motion, and again, it's just Blender. It's insane. Like they're so talented, and it's nice that they're getting a lot of recognition now. Like I'm not surprised that it was the burger thing that made them popular, because I feel like there's some Tumblr sexy men up in there that like they definitely went out of their way to make. You know what I mean?
I never thought of it from that angle, but I don't think you're wrong.
Dude. Oh my god, yes, of course.
No.
100%. That show is replete with Tumblr sexy men. It really is. So I guess it's not that surprising that like that's what led to his bigger success, but it's good as hell.
I'm actually watching a bit of Katen Yajima, and wow.
Yeah.
If you told me that this was done by the studio that did Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer or
Rankin Bass. Yeah.
Without Santa, I'd believe you.
Yeah, it's unbelievably impressive. It's crazy. I love
Internet...
which one had Cold Miser and Heat Miser? Was that?
That's Christmas Without Santa, I think.
That is Christmas Without Santa. I love Mr. 10 Below.
Yeah.
Like I love that
Mr.
shit.
Snow. White Christmas. I'm Mr. Snow.
They got a character pair in Venture Brothers to sing it too, which
so
is wonderful.
Good.
Are you familiar with the Venture Brothers? I don't think this came up. I was like going down
I've
the list of media I obsess over.
Of the Venture Brothers, I haven't seen all of it. I certainly know of it. I know the basics of it.
I cannot recommend it. I cannot recommend it enough. Cannot recommend it enough.
I have several friends who swear by that one.
Yeah, I mean, for good reason. Also, like being a fan of that show was hard. It aired 7 seasons over 18 years.
Oh. Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Forge and Fire, the waiting
Yeah.
fandoms.
Uh-huh. Yeah. Oh my god. I still have a couple t-shirts. Like they did t-shirt clubs. Like every week they'd put out a new t-shirt related to something in the episode or whatever.
Oh, that's so cool.
And I still have some from season 2. And season 2 aired. Let's see. Oh, this is gonna be awful. I'm sorry in advance.
Now, were they released
2006.
Whew.
That is an old ass t-shirt.
Were they released approximately the same distance apart? Was it, 2 years between seasons, or was it seasons 1, and then a year later season 2, a year later season 3, and then 5 years later season 4, or something like that?
There was a especially long gap in, you know what, actually, 2003, 2004, 4, 6, 8. You know, looking at this, there really aren't that many huge gaps, but it's still a really long time compared to other shows, you know?
Yeah.
Oh, what song's playing? You said you want a full parody of this song. Which one?
No, that Noel Pretzel put a thing of just, she's Miss Wide Oomphy, she's Miss Wan Wan.
You know, I'm so happy they did Miss and not Mrs. At least I'm not offensive, but you know, like, oh my god, I'm not that old, you know? Well, actually, but still.
Don't worry, I'm there with you.
Yeah, no, I know you are. That's why I'm extra comfortable, to be totally honest.
It's weird being like the quote unquote old guard in both age and also the fact that being here for 3 years means that you're experienced.
Oh, I don't like the idea of being seen as experienced or seasoned.
It's disorienting.
You know?
It just, I guess we know a bit more than admittedly the folks that are less than 3 years.
Always know more than you want to, I feel like at times.
That's a very big mood. Knowing more than everyone.
That's fine. What you do is you simply know nothing and continue about your day.
Yep.
That's the only way to do it. It's the only way to do it. Anything else is crazy person behavior, honestly. You must simply compartmentalize.
Compartmentalize and, facilitate your own blissful ignorance.
Exactly. 100%. You go crazy otherwise. You really would.
Yeah. It's,
Yeah, no, I get it. I get it. It's a very personality-based thing, all of this, you know? That's how it is. It's okay.
Hopping back to the animation for a second. Speaking of Worthy Kids and just different productions, that it's been so cool to see the rise and legitimization of independent animation becoming, well, for lack of a better term, not independent. That you see things like, more recently, Has Been Hotel. That started
out as that kind of thing. It is really impressive.
And
like I've never seen it, and I don't know about ever watching it.
I did see it recently because enough friends were pestering me about it, and I will say it reawakened the theater kid in me. That if you were ever a theater kid, you will probably like this show. That the songs are just very catchy.
I was always theater kid adjacent. If you believe it, I'm sure people from my chat are going to be mean to me about this, but I was debate club. Debate and Model UN.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So theater kid adjacent. I think very theater kid adjacent because it still involved public speaking in some way or another.
I was the combo theater kid band nerd.
Oh yeah, no, I mean this in the kindest way I can tell. I can, and that's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. I mean, most VTubers are theater kids anyway, or former theater kids.
I feel like most streamers are theater kids.
Yeah, absolutely. You can tell it's noticeable in their sensibilities.
Yeah,
I think. Plus, I mean, okay, here we go. Do you have opinions on Rent?
Not strong ones.
Really? Okay.
My big opinion on Rent is that it's probably a bit overrated.
Ooh, you're like the underground theater kid. You're like, I'm gonna.
Like it's fine. It's good, and I can understand and respect the things that it did, and I understand why some people consider it so important. And I think that's good. That I'm glad the show exists. Certainly, it didn't exactly. It wasn't a transcendent experience for me as it was for some.
Yeah, like, I don't know, every theater kid I knew growing up was obsessed with Rent. People, they're like, hey, have you seen Rent? Hey, you see Rent? Hey, you want to listen to the Rent soundtrack? And oh my god, all of like the friends' cars I've been driven around in. The well-worn Rent CD.
600.
No! Oh, I need 5 minutes to like fucking put water on it and I'll think about that shit. Oh my god. You know, like I like a lot of the older musicals. Like I like Pirates of Penzance. You know, they're right about that one.
That one, like start to finish. I know several of the songs.
It's very funny,
it's such a
honestly.
Fun one. The songs are so fun.
Everyone loves Modern Major General and telling a Mauser rifle from a javelin and things of that nature. I get it. It's a fun one. Also, the South Park movie.
Oh yes, that
unironically.
I'm to this day kind of shocked that Matt Stone and Trey Parker haven't actually just done a Broadway adaptation.
Adaptation of South Park. Okay, I was like, I mean, they won Tony Awards.
They've won Tony Awards, yes, and that's the thing. Because they won Tony Awards, that it means they know how to produce musicals. The fact that they haven't actually taken the one that's already written and just put it on stage.
Yeah, I love Kyle's
Do I think
Mom's
it would end up
bitch.
having the run that Book of Mormon has had? No, but I think it would have a Spam-A-Lot style run. It would last a couple of years.
Yeah, I've only ever have you ever been to a show on Broadway? I was thinking about it. I've only ever been to one, and it was The Lion King, which
if you're going,
I feel like as an adult I'd appreciate more. I think.
Actually, come to think, that was my first Broadway show too. I was 13, 14-ish, and that certainly from a production standpoint. It was stunning. It's a good place to start on Broadway.
Yeah, it was totally stunning.
That even if you, as I assume you do, know the music and the script forward and backward, that being able to experience in that different way, that it certainly takes advantage of the adaptation. That it is more than just, okay, let's rehear it all over again, but that they made it the big show. They made it something that was for Broadway, and that it was really cool there. I feel
a little bad. I don't think I remember any of the music from it, like, specifically. Actually, it's been so long. I think, you know what it is that I conflate the Civilization 4 intro with something from Lion King.
Oh my,
I know I should. I mean, okay, that was the first video game song to win like a Grammy Award.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
10.
Hell yeah. And I think it's just like the Lord's Prayer sung in...
Yes, it is. It's the Lord's Prayer in
Swahili. Oh, Swahili. Okay, yeah. But Baba Yetu does kick ass. It does.
So
it's still a banger, 100%. It's fun to watch it, like, perform live.
Oh,
yeah. They did a couple live performances with, like, huge, like, gospel choirs, and it was beautiful, unsurprisingly.
Yeah.
South Park musical, everyone moves show accurate. That would be pretty funny.
That'd be interesting. That would they? Because I would love to see them have sort of costumes. Not that it's just okay, dress them up like normal people in those clothing, but actually sort of do what the Lion King did. And I think the more I think about it, I also realized one of the first answers of why the South Park musical hasn't gone to Broadway, and that's. The obvious impulse in any production is, age-accurate casting, and you're not going to have child actors do that.
That would not be good.
And so don't do that, but then actually thinking about what Noel Pretzel is saying about it, everyone moves show accurate, that if you take the Lion King approach, where you go all out with the costuming and sort of make it look different like that, because obviously the animals in the Lion King don't look like animals, that it's all about the artistry of the costumes, and that if you can lean into that and then have adults playing the kids, which would look and feel really weird if you just have them dressed like normal human beings, but if you push to the extreme on the costumes and that visual disconnect there, similar to what you have with Lion King, you can then have adults playing kids, and it wouldn't read as strangely as, someone tall and lanky playing what is supposed to be an 8-year-old.
Also, like, that's kind of hard for South Park, too, because, like, it's like 3 people that voice nearly all of the characters in the show.
That is true.
And giving them different voices could be strange. I mean, like, in the year 1999, everyone had a Cartman impression because it was 1999. But like, I don't know how well that would go down. Like, at a fucking scene production.
It's not Jeremy Irons playing Scar. It
should be
Haley Joel Osment playing Simba. But yes, I would absolutely love Jeremy Irons actually to play on Broadway. Yes.
Haley Joel Osment got cute, you know? Like, he's like 35 now.
Also, I'm remembering correctly, that it was Haley Joel Osment as Simba, right? Or am I remembering incorrectly?
I
feel like it was Simba.
You know what? Yeah, wait. I don't know. Wait. I'm figuring this out presently. Was he even alive when the Lion King came out? Like the
Simba. I'm totally wrong. It's not.
Okay, yeah. Okay, yeah, that does make way more sense. I was a little worried there.
What was I thinking of in that case? That it was
Jonathan Taylor Thomas was.
Yeah, it was young.
Oh, that's the guy from fucking Home Improvement. Okay. So it still is like a famous child actor, and they also have a triple name: Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Haley Joel Osment. It makes perfect sense that you confused them.
I feel like maybe he was in another Disney thing that I'm forgetting. Oh, was it Jungle Book? He was in Jungle Book 2.
Jungle Book 2? He wasn't in AI.
Sora in Kingdom Hearts. He's Sora in Kingdom Hearts. So I was still barking up the right tree with Disney.
Yeah, okay, I can see exactly how you got there then. But Haley Joel Osment's like showing up like in a lot of TV these days, and he is like an older man with a beard now. It's wild. Like all he is to me still is the kid from God. Have you seen AI? Like the Spielberg AI movie?
No.
It's supposedly based on an unproduced script that Stanley Kubrick was going to do at some point, and it's about as subtle as like a truck. Honestly, like it just runs you over from fucking scene 1 with like the metaphor about, you know, like parenthood and the commoditization of childhood and you know, the nature of love and all of that shit, and they just do it from frame 1 of that movie, and Steven Spielberg is there like hitting you in the head with a bowling ball over and over and over. And that guy can, I don't know, he can make a good movie. Like, have you seen Close Encounters of the Third Kind anytime recently?
Not recently, I saw it way back in the day.
Oh yeah, everybody did, but like I went back and watched it recently, and like it's amazing actually. It's like way better than I remember. Like it's so good at like creating this atmosphere of like strangeness and weirdness, but not like malevolent strangeness. Well. Yeah. Oh, it's a wonderful looking movie still. Like it's still incredible looking, and it's just. There are very few movies that I've ever seen that like build an atmosphere in that way so successfully, I think. Yeah, the 70s, 80s, yeah, exactly. I completely agree. God, this fucking War of the Worlds adaptation. Ugh.
And also just, you know, going as far back as like E.T.
Kill that guy with hammers.
Uh-oh.
Honestly, E.T. scares me. Oh no, there's like this tweet that always gets shared around, like if me and my friends found E.T., we would have killed him with hammers. And like I think I empathize a lot with that. E.T.'s scary.
I was like, oh gosh, does Mint just really not like E.T.?
No, E.T. is a good movie, but also E.T. is scary as hell.
Oh yes, no,
E.T.'s scary. I have nightmares about E.T. or had. Not have. Definitely not
have. I do remember the first time when I was young and saw E.T. that it did freak me out, especially sort of the part. And also just sort of the scene where, like, I forget what the kid's name is, but he was just like, I think we're dying. Just like...
Yeah! Oh, God, what is that character? The main child character's name. Yeah.
But that...
It's bad.
That as a film that it's really well done, and obviously, you know, the iconic Across the Moon shot, but just that it was a very... It was really nice on... And, oh, yeah, Jaws of just... And that one also in terms of just John Williams. Only John Williams could create something so iconic and haunting out of 2 notes.
Yeah.
2 notes.
Oh man, I don't know though. The bit where like E.T. screams, that's what it is. That's what made me scared. Like, yeah, it's scary as hell. If I was in the woods at like fucking 2 a.m. and I didn't have any Reese's Pieces. No, I again, definitely killed with hammers, 100%.
I wonder
And,
how much...
and then when he's like all fucking desiccated looking when they're dying at the end, that's also like even scarier. Kind of too sad. Yeah, he is a very, what's the word? Not, I mean, he likes melodrama and sappiness, and he loves the power of love and all of that, but oh my god.
I wonder how much the Hershey Company paid Steven Spielberg to have Reese's Pieces.
Yeah, I've always wondered that.
Such a important name part, that it wasn't just, oh, he likes candy. It wasn't, oh, he likes chocolate. It wasn't, oh, he likes peanut butter. It was, oh, he specifically likes Reese's Pieces. That is, you know, just that.
It's
that
so
is
specific.
Brand placement.
But, you know, I haven't had Reese's Pieces. I always want to say Reese's Pieces, like always. The brand has captured my imagination, I guess, and I have to say a brand accurately. It's like when you're typing Pokemon or whatever on your phone, and it like autocorrects it to a capital P and an accented E.
Yes.
You know what I mean? I feel I don't want to be captured by brands in that way, but Reese's Pieces. I don't know. I haven't had them in like forever. I feel like they kind of suck. They probably
M&M's refused to give the filmmaker permission.
Oh, they fucked up. I
Wow.
mean, probably not. M&M's is M&M's, but damn. Oh. So it was a directorial choice. Weird. Yeah, M&M's fucked up.
Oh, yeah.
They really
Mars
did.
refused to allow M&M's to be used in the film, believing E.T. would frighten children.
They're right.
They're right.
Fucking right. They're so right.
But the product placement resulted in a large increase in Reese's Pieces sales, so both were right technically.
You know what though? Like, I don't know. M&M's are pretty much on top.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
only so much room for growth for M&M's, so I mean that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite type of M&M's?
Ooh, that's a good
Like,
fucking question.
These
I
are
miss
difficult
the old
questions
style.
that I ask on
I
this
know,
show,
I
man.
know, right? No fluff here. What's my favorite kind of M&M? Real Dick Cavett kind of question. Crispy M&Ms, but like the old ones.
Ooh.
Yeah. And you know what? I really like the peanut butter ones, but I can eat maybe 4 of them before I start to feel sick.
Yeah,
They're very self-limiting.
I like peanut M&Ms. The peanut butter ones, I agree, are very difficult just because they dry out your mouth so fast.
Oh, I don't get that. I feel like it just like it starts to immediately induce like heartburn for me. Like after like 5 or 6 of them, like, ugh.
Ooh, Jack Mango also made me remember the other good one, pretzels. I'm a sucker for chocolate-covered pretzels in general.
Hell yeah. Oh, dude.
There are not enough chocolate-covered pretzels in the world.
God.
It is such an underrated dessert.
Oh, God, that sounds so good. Let's take some pretzel sticks to like a chocolate fountain or something.
Yes, but also
Oh my God.
The other thing is chocolate pretzels are always overpriced. That you can just, buy a bag of chocolate chips, put it in the microwave for 10, 15 seconds, whatever, and, a big bag of whatever pretzel you want from the grocery store, literally just dip them in, and either you can just eat them like that with the chocolate still melty and warm, or throw them on a pan, throw them in the freezer, boom, you have your chocolate-covered pretzels, like a 1/10 of the price of what you would actually pay for something that is pre-made.
I was gonna ask, do you have Wincos out there wherever you're at?
I
A
don't
Winco?
think so.
So it's it's a grocery store, and they're known for having a huge bulk section, and they have bulk chocolate covered pretzels that are so good. Oh my God. They also for some reason have bulk hummus, which I had never seen in my life.
I guess if you're hosting a party, if it's Super Bowl Sunday or something, that you might want bulk hummus.
But it's like powder.
Oh, what?
It's so strange. It is one of the weirdest things I've ever seen. But they have stuff in bulk that I've never seen anywhere else.
Huh.
Like, it's pretty good. Winco's pretty damn good.
I
mean, I'm really into hummus. I love hummus, dude.
Oh yeah. No, I've had speaking of good chocolate things, I've had chocolate hummus recently, and like it's if you want.
Is that made of chickpeas?
Part of it, yes. That imagine it's like a lighter version of Nutella.
Oh,
That
okay,
it looks
yeah,
like a lighter
okay, I'm
version
into
of
that.
Nutella, and that it also has like less than half of the sugar as well. That it's just really good.
Oh, yeah. Wow. Okay. Yeah. It's amazing that people got convinced you should eat Nutella for breakfast. Like, good for them. That like, eating chocolate frosting for breakfast got normalized, like that's fine by me. I'm not gonna complain. It's just wild that people really do see it that way. Same with like fucking like frappuccinos at Starbucks.
Oh,
they normalize getting a milkshake at 1 p.m. and God bless them for that. But also, holy shit. You know?
Okay, you've sent me a picture of Winco.
Oh yeah,
this
yeah.
Looks, it does just look like that's a candy shop. That's the type of dispenser you'll see at a candy shop. Yeah,
but it's like there are things they sell in bulk that I had no idea was ever sold in bulk. It's kind of incredible. They definitely do have a ton of candy though.
Whenever I think of bulk, that I think of the stereotypical Costco, Sam's Club type thing.
Yeah.
And just if you ever want to see things in bulk that you did not expect in bulk, that's where I go to for that. Sorry, chat, covering you up for a second. But yes, here we are, and I love that it just has both on the side of the aisle thing and on the wall, bulk food.
Hell yeah. Dude, Winco rocks. It's real good. It's also like the 2 remaining affordable grocery stores. You know? You mentioning Costco.
There's so many other types of things here. So are these all I think I see the pretzels, but then are these nuts? Is that popcorn?
Oh yeah, they definitely they do nuts and coffee and tea and
there's like
hummus and tons of candies that you don't normally see in bulk either.
That's dangerous.
I don't normally like white chocolate, but they have white chocolate peanut butter cups.
Oh.
Those are pretty good. I usually a white chocolate antique just because it's not chocolate, but it's good. It's good in that context.
Yeah, white chocolate for that, and also just the Hershey's cookies and cream, like the ones with the little chocolate chips in them. That's really good. That I don't know why, but just Hershey's cookies and cream bars are a memory thing for me. It's a childhood thing.
When I was in Vegas with other insane VTuber women, we went to the Hershey store at the New York.
Oh, I remember you posting a tweet about that.
Yeah, and that's a weird place to be, especially 10 minutes before closing. And there was a really drunk lady who was definitely not treating a cashier well. Oh, no. And we were also all pretty drunk and stoned, but I think it's really funny. I think maybe we were the politest people on the strip that whole week, because we were trashed by 3-4 p.m. every day, but always please and thank you and excuse us, and you could tell some of the wait staff was taken aback by the politeness. It was unexpected. I felt so bad. Oh my god.
Yeah, treat the service workers nicely, and especially, right before closing. And I found the tweet. It's the Hershey store 15 minutes before closing is the ultimate liminal space, especially if you're half drunk with oompies trying to figure out how to work the custom label machine.
Yeah, the custom label thing was put on a white chocolate, or not white chocolate, the cookies and cream bar. Here it is. There it is.
Oh, that's right. Oh, it just gets worse the more you stare at it.
It's so good. It's so good. Can you show them the JPEG? I think it's a really good JPEG.
Yes, I am.
Okay, good.
Getting this set up right now. Oh, that. the cashier had to look at this when they rang it up, Mint.
Oh, absolutely, they did. Of course they did.
This is art. Oh,
it is, because we couldn't figure out how to do the cropping on the machine. So as a way to crop it in big quotes, Tom took a picture of it and then uploaded the picture of the picture, and it worked out. Mazel tov.
Mazel tov indeed.
Yeah, it's a mitzvah right there. You got.
Lobster Fest is back.
Yeah, exactly. You take your baby mama to Lobster Fest on it.
Also, where did that... I've seen my share of really messed up Sonic OC / fan art. I haven't seen that one before.
Yeah, that one was new to me too. When I saw it, I'm like, oh, wow. Look at that.
I'm not surprised by its existence. It's kind of sad to say that I'm not surprised by it.
Oh,
but
of course not.
But I hadn't seen it before. Just... because, this is very clearly riffing off of Loss.
Yeah. Oh, big time. Like, oh my god. People, what's the fancy word for the tendency to notice patterns and things? It starts with a P. Someone in chat definitely knows. But either way, people being that way for loss is like insane. How do you actually say that? Pareidolia? It's probably pareidolia or something. That I is what really throws me off. Either way, yeah. It's like why people thought they saw the face on Mars. You know?
Oh yeah.
That's from that psychological phenomenon.
Let's see if I can actually get a pronunciation on this. Here we go. Yeah. Pareidolia.
Yeah, there it is. Pareidolia. Also, I have to like run to the restroom super quick.
Right
is that
ahead.
okay?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. I'll just do.
Please stand by.
Wait, no, I don't know. I probably shouldn't move myself considering you said. Shit. Sorry. I didn't
You're
even.
Good. Don't worry about it.
Can you make me disappear or like?
Can I make her disappear? Let's find out. Dukes, that's there. Haha. Vanished.
I'm a ghost. Okay, I'll be right back.
Well, while she's away, thank you everybody who's tuning in right now. I did actually miss a couple of follows. Thank you, Mr. Cool VT and Streamer's Psychosis for the follows. What a name. What a name. Hopefully you all are enjoying so far. Don't worry. Shh, don't worry. I promise she'll be back soon. You don't need to worry. And yeah, that we took Mint and she's definitely fine. There's nothing wrong. There's no arson happening here. I have not locked her in the basement again. Mr. Neutral Chuse, thank you for the follow. Jack, no, you're not supposed to tell them about the last time. That's the whole point. Also, Trigger _ I'm choosing to read your name that way. Thank you for the follow. That's a lot of underscores. I'm trying to even tell how many underscores that is. Huh. Yeah, object permanence, don't worry about it. Not important at all, especially in streaming. I've had a very busy weekend, a lot of talking this weekend, because I actually had a show yesterday, and while I usually don't put 2 shows in a weekend, just scheduling for guests goes that way, and that I always try to schedule around my guests. And then I was also on another talk show as a guest myself this morning, and that was for Daenerys Den, who's actually in the chat earlier. Is he still here? I think he is, yeah. As I try to make sure that I spell the username right. There we go, yeah. There we go.
Hi! Sorry
Hello.
about that.
Welcome back. Don't worry, chat. Object permanence restored.
I hope to have object permanence one day.
One day, maybe.
I'm hoping. I'm hoping. Here's praying. Pray for me, chat.
Just a bit of.
If you hide your face behind your hands, I assume you were just gone.
Just a bit of object permanence as a treat.
Yeah, exactly. Look, I deserve it. I really do.
So the chocolate that was actually in this custom label, that was
cookies and cream.
Yes,
yeah.
Nice.
A huge fucking cookies and cream bar. It's.
I'm still looking at this and just realizing that I didn't even know until you pointed it out that the upper image was a picture of the picture. I thought it was just oddly cropped at first, and it wasn't until I started looking
software.
closer.
It was so complex. It was like a fucking like Kodak machine like lined up with a bunch of other ones.
I bet that these things have probably been in that shop for a decade and a half minimum.
Minimum, yeah. It's crazy. Like, I don't know what it is, but like, I don't know who would wear like a shirt that just has like Hershey's on it. Like, it's such a weird story. The fact that it's like mostly clothes, like, really threw me off. Like, I was lucky enough to be able to go to Japan and Hong Kong in December. And like, I went to like the Capcom and Nintendo stores, of course, to just, get a bunch of nerdy shit. And like, there were like some clothes, like obviously, but like, it was mostly like stuff. Like I got a friend Splatoon themed dishwashing gloves.
Ooh. Ooh.
They don't sell them online. I had to go to the store in Shibuya, and they are Splatoon-themed dishwashing gloves. They're huge rubber gloves with like Splatoon stuff on them.
I'm looking these up. Splatoon dishwashing gloves. I'm trying to imagine what they would look like. Just, you know,
They look like they're from
do you look like
Splatoon.
they're fins or just?
They look like the salmon run. The salmon run gloves. So like they're like
okay.
fish handler looking gloves. Yeah, there you go.
Those are cute.
Yeah, the store was the fact that it was like a Nintendo store and then specifically a Pokemon store across from it was a little wild. It was shocking how big the Pokemon store still is.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
And then there was the Capcom one right next to it. So I got like some Monster Hunter garbage because I'm a freak. I got a little Zinogre bean because I love Zinogre. You know? That's the lightning dog. I like them.
Then Monster Hunter is high on the list of, you know, games and media that I need to play, and I know usually on Sundays you actually have a pretty regular Monster Hunter.
Yeah, I mean, it's really funny.
Yeah.
That's how we got together actually. So I had just started streaming seriously like in late October 2021, and you know, like was on my own. Like I was terrified to do collabs. I was even for a while under the impression that chatting in another streamer's chat was like seen as like untoward self-promotion. So like I was very isolated and like I was a little terrified to like interact with people. I learned the opposite quickly, at the very least, that it's okay to actually chat with people. It's okay to be social, actually. It's okay to be alive. And you know, I started chatting with Moriko, aka Bat at Video Games, and a couple months later, she was like, "Do you want to play Monster Hunter?" And I was like, "Hell yeah, I do." And then we played Monster Hunter 4U for like 18 months straight, and now we're on to Frontier, which is an insane one.
For someone who hasn't played Monster Hunter, do you have a suggested starting point?
4U. I think 4U.
Mm.
Yeah, it's the 3DS game. It emulates extremely well. It has mods to make it look extra nice too. Like like it just upreses the character models and it all looks really good. It's all very good looking. But yeah, I think it's a good halfway point between the super old style Monster Hunter and the world that came after, I think. The world isn't a bad one either. I can't recommend Rise though.
What makes Rise different?
It's so... It was like... what's a good way to put it? It is not like a full increment on Monster Hunter. It is a halfway through a generation Monster Hunter. So it does have some new stuff, but it's full of mechanics that won't end up in any other Monster Hunters. The like wire bug stuff. It looks cool, but it just kind of does nothing. It's like you can use it to do like fun acrobatic stuff, but ultimately that's not going to be there when the next Monster Hunter comes out. So learning to play the game with these like movement and attack mechanics that just don't exist and won't exist ever again. They are a scam.
So what
They're
are
a
wire
scam.
bugs?
They're just like bugs that like are out in the world that are like grapple points, basically.
Huh.
Also, Rise has this really dumb mechanic where so in Monster Hunter you eat before a hunt, and that increases your HP and stamina bars, right? Yeah. But the thing is, in Rise, there are these things called spear birds that like are all around the map, and you are incentivized to go around and spend 10 minutes every fucking hunt, like collecting them to actually top out your bars. It is literally just busy work added for no good reason, and I have no idea what they were thinking with those things. It's so goofy. Monster Hunter 4 isn't on Switch. Gen U is, and the Gen games are good, but I never played them, so I can't like directly recommend them. But I do know that 4U is excellent. I love Monster Hunter 4U to death. It's really cool. It feels like an adventure also, which is nice, because like the single player campaign has a fun little story, and you're changing like base camps from like a desert place to like a lava place to a tropical island to like the highlands with like dragon people. It's awesome. I love it. I love it. It's a good ass game.
I'm thinking, okay, so I don't use emulators much. I'm sure I can look it up and figure out how to do it. That I'm good enough with software that I'm not worried about my ability to get that set up. But things like, okay, so there's that, and just Also, I'm kind of surprised to hear, of all things, like, I love the 3DS. I think it was a wonderful console that was just effectively a logical continuation on the already successful DS.
Yeah, the DS, yeah.
And they very quickly, and I think very smartly, very quickly abandoned the 3D aspect of the 3DS.
Absolutely. They put out the 2DS.
Yeah, and they quickly realized, the 3D parallax effect is nice, but it's frankly a bit disorienting. It does not actually
hard on
add
the eyes.
It was hard on the eyes, and it didn't really add anything to the experience. That when it gets to the point where even the Pokemon games, that if you play them on the 3DS, the system they are for, they do not have parallax enabled. Even Pokemon gave up the ghost on 3D on the 3DS. It got to that point really a year after the release, but that by all other rights, the 3DS is still a perfectly solid console. That the DS family, I think, is probably just end to end, I would say, one of the best console families we've ever had.
It makes sense that everything is coalesced into the Switch, though. Like,
yes.
Nintendo giving up having a separate handheld home console is probably really
because
smart of
now
them. But like
the home console can now be a handheld.
Exactly.
To have two, and that it wasn't even, all right, we're abandoning handheld. It was, our technology is at the point where we can simply have both in one device.
It's nice. I have an OLED Switch, thanks to my audience, and the screen on that thing is beautiful. It's stunning.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an OLED screen, so like, of course it's beautiful. It's so nice. I'm a little bummed knowing that the Switch 2 is definitely like around the corner.
Yeah,
I'm gonna be here
just
soon.
How much of an iteration it will be, because
I assume a solid one, considering the Switch right now is like a 2014 cell phone.
Yeah,
probably do a lot better than that now.
That's the big thing, and just how much of it is going to be function in terms of just processing power versus function in terms of other things. That we had the Wii to the Wii U, and the Wii, obviously, literal figurative game changer. It was enormous. It sold so much, and then they iterated to the Wii U, which fell flat on its face.
Nobody fucking knew what the hell the Wii U was. The name was like the worst choice they could have. Everyone was like, "Oh, it's a tablet for the Wii, obviously."
Yeah, that it
or something like any. Oh God, I have one. I have a Wii U.
And that clearly you can see the progression of the Wii U to the Switch. That the whole thing of the Wii U, sort of tablet controller, it just became the Switch. That you can see where they were going, and that in some ways the Wii U's value to Nintendo, even if it didn't sell well, being able to
figured it out
as that sort of Switch prototype really was good for them, but that it bungled its own marketing, and the library was just abysmal.
Yeah, God, there are a couple good games trapped on the Wii U still, I think. Like, the first Splatoon didn't get ported to the Switch, and then there's still Xenoblade Chronicles X, which, I don't know if that's a good game, but it's a little sad it's trapped on the Wii U, I think. Yeah, I bought a Wii U for Monster Hunter 3, actually.
But it'll be the question for the Switch 2, name pending, of is it going to be the difference between the Wii and the
Switch
Wii U, where there is, some inherent functional difference, or is it going to be more similar to the DS to the 3DS, where they are still separate iterative consoles, maybe with a pinch of a gimmick, but that at its core, the DS and 3DS are the
I'm not
same.
sure what gimmicks they could add to the Switch. They already have, it's a touchscreen and it's got, remember when people referred to motion controls as a waggle? Waggle still exists. I don't know what else they could add to it. It has touchscreen, it has gyro controls, it has all of the, I guess, like, maybe they'll like attach like fucking like a Kinect to it or something.
Yeah, I was going to say motion capture. That the ability for it to.
Apparently doctors love the Kinect. I was shocked to learn that the medical industry is like way into it. Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
It's interesting. That's cool that it ended up that way. Remember God, I miss E3. I loved watching E3. It was like a holiday.
Oh, it was.
Yeah, it was a holiday. All my fucking nerdy ass friends all just riffing on bad presentations. Every time Ubisoft rolls around, everyone prepares to cringe until their teeth break.
I could not for the life of me figure out what Ubisoft was thinking. Just,
you know what? I like Aisha Tyler most of the time. I think
Aisha
she's
Tyler's-
funny, but
oh,
I don't
yeah,
know why
she's
they
fine
kept
host.
hiring her though.
No, but they had there was so many awkward segments that it wasn't even Aisha Tyler as a presenter, that she was a fine enough MC, and that, you know, if you put her in charge of almost any of the other pressers, it's still fine. But that, you know, they would have like the Just Dance, that they would make it into a Broadway thing. And I say this as a theater kid, I do not want a Broadway song and dance in my E3 presser. Sorry.
There was one, there was an Ubisoft one where it was Joel McHale hosting it, which that guy was not happy to be there.
I forget if it was Ubisoft or EA where they brought out Messi to just have like a random interview.
That was definitely EA.
Okay.
But oh my god, the Joel McHale hosted Ubisoft conference at one point was interrupted by people like running in a laser tag gear, playing a cool game of laser tag, and then Ubisoft never released whatever the fuck that was. Joel McHale hated being there. Like, he just wanted, like, I don't know, he could just go back to, I mean, I think they're making a Community movie. He could just go there instead.
But that, you know, Sony's, Xbox, and Nintendo's were always really good, and the big sort of game changer thing was, I think it was 2014 or so, when Nintendo made the earth-shattering announcement, we're not going to have a normal E3
you don't
presser.
have to.
We're just going to do our own pre-recorded thing. And it was like, oh wow, is Nintendo like on the brink of collapse? Holy cow, they pulled out of E3. They're gonna do their own pre-recorded thing. They just must not have much. This is bad. And then everybody else realized, oh wait, this is just easier, cheaper, and
yeah. Like, why bother? Like,
if you can pre-produce
it's for the fans now.
And
so
if
like,
you
whatever.
can pre-produce it, there's no risk of things going haywire on stage.
Yeah. No. Oh my god. Do you remember the Konami 2010 conference?
No.
That is like that is the certified like E3 classic of just total goddamn insanity, start to finish. That's the one where that's the Million Troops one. And the one where the guy's like very, very exercise. Oh, it was this like insane, awkward, hour and a half long. 1 million troops, and oh my god, it was a hell of a press conference. That one and Sony 06, I think, was also the one where like 1,000 memes came from, like fucking Ridge Racer and Tackett's weak point for massive damage, real Japanese history, all that shit. But also that era is really funny because like E3 really did used to be about business.
Yeah.
Like it was presentations to investors.
Yeah.
So like even that
E3 was not a
2006 press
convention.
conference has pie charts.
It was a trade show.
Yeah,
it was a trade show.
It wasn't for fans, but they transitioned into being for fans.
And that I could still understand. You know, it makes sense for something like that to have its pressers be broadcast because it's something that people were interested in. But that then they tried to make it a convention, that they started to let, you know, that for the longest time to get into E3. You needed industry credentials. You had to apply for a badge. You needed to have an email address for a recognized industry company or otherwise some
or work for GameStop.
And proof of employment from a industry company that you could not just get in. And then they started, okay, we're going to let like 5,000 fans in. And the industry did not like that.
No, I also just remembered Sega's booth from the year 2000, and it had they had guys in. It was the most aggressively year 2000 thing ever. I think they're even playing Dragula.
Oh,
wait, here, hang on. Let me find the timestamp for you. Oh my god. Oh, there it is. Hell yeah, there's Dragula. You fucking know it. There we go. There's the timestamp.
That looks like
that
looks like a Mega Man cosplayer rollerblader.
Oh, it's Jet Set Radio.
Oh, duh.
Yeah. But you should.
Jet Set Radio's back.
Yeah. They are apparently making a new one.
Yeah.
I don't know how much I believe it will actually come out, but it's wild that they're even considering it.
That, you know, we've seen footage, and my guess is it will be another year or two at least. But I think that it is genuinely in production. I think they do recognize that there is an audience for it.
The fucking, oh my god. The plan Sega put out a couple years ago before they announced a bunch of old games coming back, like Crazy Taxi and Jet Set Radio.
They were talking about
they were like
game.
Yeah, exactly. The plan is to make a game that sells a lot of copies. Well, Goodbye. That was like the whole plan.
Yeah.
They're like, we're gonna make a game that's so good that it funds the company forever.
That was
anyway, moving on.
Real good marketing investor jargon they had right there.
Yeah. Oh god, it's like, I mean, did you ever see that presentation from the CEO of SoftBank? It's a very large Japanese like capital investment firm.
Yeah, I'm familiar.
And
with
they
SoftBank.
own everything. Yeah, their CEO is a crazy person. And they did it's like a kind of notorious like PowerPoint presentation that is just full of just crazy person stuff.
Oh no.
Like I'm sorry that, oh my god, I just realized how insane it is to be like, yeah, you know that PowerPoint presentation the CEO of SoftBank gave, like as if that's like a normal thing to say or no. But it was really fucking funny. Yeah, here's a Vice article about it. There it is.
Oh boy, I'm so excited.
It's so strange.
Oh no, that thumbnail alone.
It is full of nonsense.
I'm just going
and
to take the thumbnail alone and put this on stream. What the hell?
It's so good. It's really, really good. Oh god, Bomb Rush Cyberpunk. I feel so bad. I got an audience member of mine, Reddy's Lab, who's a wonderful artist, by the way. Would it be gauche to ask you to shout out Reddy, actually?
Send me their username so I don't misspell it, please.
They've done a whole bunch of wonderful art for my channel, and I love information revolution. Happiness for everyone! Especially Vince McMahon at the end there, I guess. But, they made a totally fucking bespoke in the art style of the game 3D model of me in Bomb Rush Cyberpunk, and I need to record like voice acting bits for it. I've just been like afraid to do it because like I would have to sit at my desk and go like oof, ouch, yeah, or whatever to a microphone with like no context and feel completely insane. It's such a good looking model too. Let me send you like they did like a little turntable of it, and it is so fucking impressive, and it's so cool that like it's in the style of the game. Like
I've seen a couple of other VTubers actually being able to import models, custom models. Like I'm not sure if you're familiar with Orange is Borange.
No, I'm not, but tell me more.
That they have modded themselves into everything from Pokemon Emerald to Skyward Sword, or sorry, not Skyward Sword, Wind Waker.
Hell yeah! Reddy does have a count on the days that I haven't sent them the voice acting. Yes, I need to kill that timer, or I'm gonna feel like a monster. But yeah, I sent you the turntable. You should definitely show that on stream because it's really cool. They did like the whole model, and then also did skin variants too. It's crazy. Like they went so hard with it. It's so good looking.
I'm trying to figure out the best way to get this because I can't download the video or itself. So capture.
Oh, if it's too much effort, don't worry about it. I do want to link.
I can get that sort of set up in the background while we continue chatting. No worries.
Yeah.
But
it was 100. Is it really 130? Oh my god. I've been busy. Okay, it's been a very busy like 4 months or so. I was in like Asia for a bit. You know, that's a good excuse. I think. Oh man, I miss it. I miss Hong Kong. I miss Hong Kong very, very, very much. I'm not gonna lie. It was unbelievable. It was nice visiting somewhere that felt really modern. You know what I mean? Coming back home to the Bay Area felt like I just went back in time 20 years in comparison. If that makes sense. Yeah. Especially compared to Tokyo and Hong Kong. It was like, oh, right. Also the food prices. Oh my god. It's like literally the cost of food is like 10% of what it is here. It's insane. In the fact that like Tokyo, the biggest city on the fucking planet, food more affordable than anywhere in California is crazy. It was so good. Like you could get like a whole meal. I got like this amazing wood-fired pizza, a drink, and a salad for the equivalent of like $10. Like,
and also just the yen to USD rate right now is about.
Yeah, it's especially even if it was at like its historical exchange rate, it would still be significantly cheaper. But yeah, the yen's super weak right now. So if you want to go to Japan or buy skebs, now is the time, Oomfies.
I'm planning to go to Japan for the first time around December. Is where.
Hell yeah, that's winter. It seems to be a good time to visit. I liked it. Are you gonna just go to Tokyo or were you planning on elsewhere?
I'm still sort of formulating that obviously Tokyo is going to be an amount of time there. it's going to be at least 2 weeks. I'm deciding if it's going to be 2, 3, or 4 weeks.
Oh my God.
And that I'm aiming to have it be over Christmas week, because basically, you know, I'm off of work from then, so I can take like a week off of work or be there for 2 weeks, and that it's only 1 week off, and figuring out where that balance is going to be for me of just time and other things. But yeah, Tokyo is sort of the obvious, okay, I will spend probably 5 to 7 days there, and then depending on if I have 1 or 2 additional weeks that I want to be able to explore around other areas, different prefectures.
You could get so much out of Tokyo in 3 weeks. Like, honestly, that city is incredible. Also, yeah, there's the videos on the screen.
Yeah.
So yeah, that model's like fully imported into the game and works perfectly with everything. I just need to like make weird goofy sounds into my microphone for it. Isn't that cute? It's so cool, like it's in the style of the game too, you know?
And I love the
like,
showcase, you know, just the simple little bit of getting the different backgrounds and showing the different colors is very nice. So
Reddy is extremely talented. Yeah, dude, like, and they also made like my most popular emote also.
Is that the insane one?
No, not the insane one. That's George Chungus made that one. It is the LMFAO emote. Someone will. Yeah, there it is on the Flea Flicker just posted. I already did that one. They're so good. They're so talented. There it is. Look at that. Wait, why is it so much bigger? What the fuck? When Flea Flicker sent it, it was like emote size, but then the latest. Why is it so much bigger now? I don't know, maybe that's on my end. It's
possibly, it seems
strange.
Normal size to me.
That's so weird. What the fuck? Either way, very talented
it's
artist.
growing stronger.
I'm not growing stronger. I'm growing weaker every day, honestly. And that's okay. Oh, it's 7TV doing it. Okay. You know, it took me a really long time to install those things. What got me to do it is I went to, it was like one of the very first times it was in Morika's chat. And they were like, hey, or no, she raided me, and the raid message was like, hey, check this out. And then I just saw the words lizard and glizzy spin. And I was like, what the hell do you mean by lizard glizzy spin? And I had to like go and look, and you know, someone's spinning a hot dog and it's a lizard. And I like that. But it was just the text lizard glizzy spin.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on.
Yeah, that I added because since I never took affiliate, that I can't have emotes. So I needed 7TV or BTTV to have my own emotes. So I do have a couple, and I also just, you know, selected some of my personal favorites from, you know, the classics around Twitch. So if you have BTTV or 7TV, then you'll see some of my curated favorites.
Oh, these, I mean, okay, yeah, the Wiggly Eyes is good, the SpongeBob one is good. Oh, there's a good noted. Okay, yeah, you do have a bunch of the good ones. You do, you're good. I think this is, like, basically all you need, honestly.
Yeah, I just sort of went around, it was like, you know, having a grocery store of emotes. I just sort of flipped through. I knew some of the go-tos that I wanted of, obviously, I was going to have, like, noted. I wanted a Pet the Mod, something with the eyes, a basic Wiggly, and a couple Kirby's.
Wiggly.
Just, you know, get the staples in there.
What a weird thing to become like a VTuber. I mean, I don't know if it is a VTuber meme, I guess. Like having a Wiggly, having an edited, it's Poplio, right? It's a Pokemon.
It's just Poplio. And the thing is, I remember.
I don't know what happened there. How did that happen?
So I first saw that GIF, I think it was like episode. It was somewhere in the first 10 episodes or so of Vtuber Talk that.
So 6,000 years ago.
Yeah, basically. That it was Phoebe Chan Chibi, who like during the pre-interview that she sent me that just I don't even know how it came up, and I was like, that's the silliest, cutest thing ever. I'm totally going to take that and just, you know, for the single episode, that's going to be the follow notification. You know, what appears, what slides on screen. We had it for that, and it was a month or so later that just suddenly Wiggly's everywhere.
Yeah, like I do have my one opinion about Wiggly's is I think flesh-colored ones can be kind of odd. Yes. I get why you might go with one that's a little more representative of like the big quotes character or whatever. But I think doing like a color palette associated with you rather than skin tone is the way to go, I think. Because I don't know, Skin Wiggly, kind of a scary phrase on its own, right? Like, I I'm happy mine just kind of looks like ice cream, and I'm okay with that.
It does, and
yeah,
it looks very appropriately like mint ice cream.
Exactly. You know, honestly, good mint ice cream is not dyed green, is what I've learned.
Green mint ice cream it falls under that childhood nostalgia taste that I like it, but yes, green mint ice cream versus white mint, proper mint is a very different flavor.
Yeah, and I had really good bougie peppermint ice cream or choco mint ice cream recently, and it was just delicious. It was amazing.
And now I want ice cream.
Tea berry. The fuck is tea berry?
What is tea berry?
Yeah, I don't know. That's just some salt and straw ass shit.
I was gonna say that sounds like something out of Avatar: The Last Airbender. Oh, have you tried the tea berries?
Yeah.
Something that Uncle Iroh would talk about to Zuko. I don't know.
What about Avatar, but James Cameron's Avatar? Where are you at on that one?
So I haven't seen Way of Water yet. I do want to. I think the first one it is a technical feat. It is a technical accomplishment. It looks great.
You're being so diplomatic about it. I love it.
James Cameron's Avatar to me is Rent. It's fine.
That's fair.
It's good. It's solid. I get why some people love it. I think it is more technologically transcendent than narratively transcendent.
Yeah, you know what? That's completely fair. I genuinely do like Avatar and Avatar 2. I really like 2 especially.
I watch it. I always you want to watch this? Totally.
Yeah, I measure the chatting bits I do for my stream and links of Avatar and Avatar 2. So if I go long and go over 3 hours and 21 minutes before starting the game, that's an Avatar 2.
I do, like I said, I still need to see Avatar 2. I've heard it's good. I've heard it.
I really liked it. It earns its length, actually. And yeah, it is better than the first, definitely.
Cool.
Completely. It's also got some relatively funny jokes, which is weird. The beginning of John Avatar hanging out with his family and they accidentally use flash on each other. And there's this funny screenshot of it of just CG blue cat people that forgot to turn on a flash on their camera, so they look fucking ridiculous. Oh, there's the Oakley's guy. That's a tier 3 emote. These are the biggest simps posting that emote, and I guess it actually is just one person. Sorry, Command Throw. But still, you got it. That's a tier 3 emote right there.
I do like Jazzhole's comment that it's aged better in the era of MCU movies, and it's
absolutely
weird to think that the first Avatar is Phase 1 MCU.
Yeah, that's 2009.
Yeah, that would have been just after Iron Man, because Iron Man was 2008, if memory serves. So that would still be pre-Avengers 1.
God, yeah. I know that Iron Man is the revival of Robert Downey Jr.'s career.
Yeah.
But you ever see Kiss Kiss Bang Bang?
No, heard of it.
It's a movie Robert Downey Jr. did a little bit before Iron Man. It's Shane Black directed, and it's him and Val Kilmer as petty criminals. And I love that fucking movie. I love that movie. You adore it? Hell yeah, Jack. Now you talking. So few people have seen it. It's kind of a bummer because I think it's a good one. It's super funny and it's just after he got clean, I think, or maybe just before. I don't know. He did well in it either way. Yeah, I don't know when Robert Downey Jr. got off the heroin, but at some point, And then what did he do out? He did. I mean, I'm trying to remember what he did before Iron Man.
Before it was and now I'm blanking too. Yep.
He was a Hollywood bad boy until he was Hollywood just bad. I'm happy his career is back because he is a good actor. It's just a bummer, he got subsumed into the Marvel universe.
Seeing Oppenheimer, having him it had been a while since I'd seen him in a proper dramatic role. But I was like, oh yeah, he is just good.
Yeah, he really is. And I was feeling that way about Tom Cruise, sort of. I think he's he is a crazy person, no question. I would never want to interact with Tom Cruise on a personal level. like ever.
But as a talk show host, I would not invite Tom Cruise on my show.
Yeah, no. He would ruin your couch. We've all seen the clip.
Yep.
But like, I think he's a great actor. Like, I think he is a movie star in an era where there are very few movie stars left. Like, the fact that he does all his own stunts at like age 70. I mean, he's not 70, but he's old as hell. Yeah. And like, he learned how to halo jump for a movie. And he did an actual high altitude, low opening jump for one of those Mission Impossible movies. Have you like gone and watched any of those?
No. Like
if you like appreciate action movie as like a genre, they're really great, actually. Each one is like centered around a huge, insane centerpiece stunt. Like, one of them is Tom Cruise literally hanging onto the side of a plane as it's taking off. And jumping a motorcycle off a ramp into like a valley. And an actual halo jump and shit like that. Like, he goes really hard. And like, he's so serious about these stunts that like, no one will insure the productions, so he has to fucking bankroll it all by himself, and he still does it. Yeah, it's like basically all elaborate suicide attempts, and he hasn't succeeded yet, and the results have been incredible.
It's like, oh wait, he's just mainstream Evel Knievel.
Kinda, yeah, mainstream Evel Knievel with millions of dollars. He also like actually climbed the one in Dubai, the Burj Khalifa. Yeah, he actually climbed that for like a movie. Like, I appreciate that kind of thing. Him and like Jackie Chan, those are true movie stars, like God. Unironically. You ever see Police Story?
I have not, no.
So that was the first Hong Kong movie Jackie Chan made after coming to the US and not really finding a lot of success. And he went back to Hong Kong and made Police Story, and it is, oh my God, it is unbelievable. The stunts in it are just, I mean, the movie, the last stunt in the movie left Jackie Chan with like third-degree burns. So like, those are the kind of stunts they were doing. It was I missed the chance to go to the mall that they did this. The last like 40 minutes of the movie is just a long fight in a mall full of glass, every fucking panel of which is shattered by the end.
Of course. And
I regret not making it to that mall. Because it does still exist in Hong Kong, and I could have gone, and I regret not going. But like, the final stunt is him grabbing onto a pole and sliding, like a pole in the middle of the atrium and sliding down all the way to the bottom floor. And like, on its own, insane. But apparently the lighting crew fucked up, and the pole was slightly electrified. So over the course of the day, the pole heated up, and no one knew until Mr. Jackie Chan grabbed at it.
How does a pole become accidentally slightly electrified?
The lighting crew really messed up.
Why is
like,
the lighting
really
crew
bad
interacting with the pole?
I don't know, but Jackie Chan got fucked up, like third-degree burns on his hands. I don't know. I think third degree is, if that's the least serious burn, right? Like, it goes third, second,
string
first.
Lighting on the pole. Okay.
Yeah.
Right,
and then it just heated up.
Like, wait, what? I'm not understanding why they're anywhere near this pole. That at least.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's some context to it. Okay.
Here, let me. Oh, it's even better because like, in the movie they show the stunt from about 5 different angles. Like, they fully earn it. It's an incredible stunt. It's just so funny that like. Yeah, here. Oh, yeah, here. Hell yeah. Oh, it's such an incredible stunt. It's an incredible fight scene. It's also, like, good, like, early, like, Jackie Chan action comedy, too. So, you know, you get, like, goofy shit on top of just, like, incredible stunt work. Like, people were injured to hell on this. Like, this is when Hong Kong stunt actors, like, had no fear. And there's at least 2 or 3 instances where Jackie Chan's head is almost crushed by a car. Like, for real. Like, not like in a movie way. In a, like, if he did not actually succeed at this stunt, he would have died way. It's crazy! Like, oh my god.
Like, just even watching that, okay, now I understand why it's electrified, but just...
Yeah!
Oh, but also, you know, the risk of, okay, if he misjudges that jump and misses the pole, he's dead.
Yeah, it's incredible. There's a lot of stunts in Police Story that were like, oh wow, if that went even the slightest bit wrong, someone would have died.
Like, if you misjudge it, like if you misposition your leg slightly and it bumps the pole, and that you ricochet off it, done.
Yeah, it's on a Criterion, so it's easy to watch. It's so good. There's one where like he's climbing on the outside of like a moving bus with like an umbrella. Oh my god, it's unbelievable. Like I love that movie. There's a stunt at the end of the bus scene where it suddenly breaks and somebody flies through the fucking upper window of the bus out onto the pavement. I think they broke both of their ankles, I think. Like the end credits of the movie, in fact, are like not bloopers, because it's just showing people horribly injured. Like they show you that like these guys really put their bodies on the line. Yeah. Including showing Jackie Chan getting carted away in an ambulance for his burns. Like they don't mess around.
Burns, at least show off the battle scars.
Exactly.
Might as well at that
I sent
point.
you the guy falling out the front of the bus. It's incredible.
Gosh, they don't make them like this anymore.
And they absolutely do not. No, not anymore.
And mostly, frankly, for good reason.
Yeah, absolutely.
It really is for the best that actors are not putting themselves in this type of bodily danger. Oh my gosh.
He was really, really thrown out the front of that bus.
And that's a double-decker bus. That's not a small fall. They're already, in addition to just, even if it was ground level, being thrown through a window forcibly, even if we assume that this is, the stunt glass, that at the very least that won't be a problem.
Oh, there is an incredible amount of stunt glass in this movie.
But that, that's already going to be risky. But then to do it off a double-decker bus, they flip. If they land wrong, they break their neck.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's amazing. And the movie opens up with a scene of a car like barreling through like a hillside like slum, knocking over every building, explosions, and oh my god, it is the peak of action movie as a genre. I cannot recommend it enough. It is so damn good. Like, it's so good.
Mobile Suit Gundam mentions they were supposed to land on the car in front of them. Like, that would have been better. So their fall was supposed to be broken about,
by
4, 5, 6 feet earlier by a very not padded car.
Yeah.
Like,
I just realized I don't think I actually ever saw a double-decker bus when I was in Hong Kong. I don't know if they still have them. I think about it. Like, there's still like weird like remnants of British stuff. Like, lots of weird remnants of British stuff. Like, it was cool being there on Christmas, because it was like, it's halfway, so like, I don't know, there isn't like a ton of like, everyone's going to church, everyone's, spending Christmas morning at home, that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But like, it was still decorated, and people were still saying Merry Christmas to one another, but like, it was weird spending Christmas in a country where it's not really like celebrated. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. It's like I never like celebrated Christmas like in my life, because I mean I was raised atheist by my parents who were also that way. So like it wasn't like a religious thing for me ever. But like being somewhere else where it was just not a thing in that way felt strange.
Yeah.
It was weird. Like, it didn't feel like Christmas at times, and that was a little odd.
So, I mean, part of the reason I'm aiming to go to Japan over Christmas is because my family doesn't celebrate either. So, I have to say, one of the things, just as I've grown up, as an adult, not celebrating Christmas is amazing.
Yeah!
It's so good.
I kind of get it.
I have no familial obligations. I don't need to travel that week. I don't need to worry about presents and, all those different commitments and gatherings. I see everybody else getting super stressed out, and I'm just here. It's like, I'll enjoy a bit of the Christmas music. I love seeing Christmas lights displays. That's awesome. There's plenty of worthwhile Christmas specials out there amongst the many stinkers and some classic stinkers too. But that,
I think
we have none of the obligations. It's great.
Is that an unpopular opinion that I think Christmas
Christmas
Story
Story
is kind of a bad movie, but I have watched it 6,000 times.
Oh yeah, no, it is a good movie. It's fun bad.
Yeah, and I mean, I don't know if they still do it, but some television network would air it 24 hours in a row for Christmas. I forget, was that like TNT or some network did that?
I can believe that. I guess it becomes almost a Yule log of sorts.
Exactly. Yeah. That's exactly what it is. Bad Santa. Is that the one with Billy Bob Thornton?
I cannot recall, but
I think
sounds
so.
right.
Yeah. Oh, TBS used to do it. I see. Was it TBS or USA where characters were welcome? I can't remember.
I think that's USA. Also,
I think that, yeah.
Bad Santa is Billy Bob Thornton.
Okay, that's what I thought. I get it confused with Bad Grandpa. That one was Johnny Knoxville.
Different bad.
Yeah, different bad. And that one, he had like prosthetic balls that like hung to his knees, which is pretty funny. It's kind of incredible that you just seen a movie based on like a series of skits from Jackass.
Yeah, it's just okay. So we want to make more Jackass, but not call it Jackass.
Yeah. I still haven't seen the newest Jackass movie. Like,
I've never seen a Jackass film end to end. I've seen plenty of clips over the years.
Oh, honestly, the first two are spectacular still.
Do they even have a story? Like, is it
a little?
Because basically, I only know it as it's just a compilation of absurd stunts and pranks.
I mean, it ultimately is that. But there's some of them that are held together a little. There was a special that they did for MTV in the very late 90s, very early 2000s, where they did a race across Europe, a thing called the Gumball Rally 3000. And it was like a race from London to like Minsk in Belarus or whatever.
Was there anything that had it earn the name Gumball Rally?
I think it's a parody of Cannonball Run, like the movie.
Oh,
so Gumball,
gotcha.
Cannonball,
Okay.
I think. But yeah, they participated in that and did jackassy stuff while also racing like a shitty car across Europe and bribing border guards and shit like that. It's really cool, actually. Is that Jackass or V? I think that was Jackass. You're not supposed to, like, with the Gumball Rally, it's very weirdly secretive. Like, it's mostly rich people doing it because, like, it has, like, a $40,000 entry fee. That kind of thing. But, like, apparently, like, you're not allowed to share photos or videos from it without approval of the people that run it.
Huh.
So I'm not sure how the Jackass one was released. Oh, yeah, no, it is a real thing. Yeah. They participated in one. It was wild. Totally wild. April 2001. Okay, you know what? That explains actually the stuff they got away with. I think it was later that year or anytime after they could not have done what they did. Like I'm like not doing a bit. Like definitely 100%. It probably changed dramatically.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's kind of
they don't make movies like that anymore.
Oh no, definitely
partially
not.
For good reason, but they
yeah,
don't.
Absolutely. Man, I was just like thinking of like Jackass skits. Jackass was like popular in the era where everything was skateboarding. Also, remember when like the entire culture was skateboarding?
Extreme with the letter.
Yeah,
X.
Extreme. Oh my God, the X Games still exist. Did you know that? I didn't know that.
They
are
recently. Still a thing every year, and
it's crazy. Like
Tony Hawk still occasionally does exhibition things.
Really?
Yeah, and just like, have you seen Tony Hawk's Twitter account?
Yeah, he's a funny old guy on the computer
now. It's just a bunch of stories of people thinking that he's not Tony Hawk, but being like, "Oh, you look like Tony Hawk." Of just the daily life of someone who was world renowned and is now like sort of.
He's a nice old guy. He's like 55.
And that he's sort of, I don't want to call him like obscure micro celebrity, but that his stardom has distinctly diminished, and that a lot of people know his name, don't really know what he's been up to. He's had no controversies to speak of. He's just living his life, having a good time, but enough people remember his existence, but don't know what he looks like nowadays to, apparently with a level of relative frequency comment, oh, you look like Tony Hawk, or oh, you skateboard, or oh, like Tony Hawk. Because his name remains synonymous with skateboarding. That there has never been anybody near Tony Hawk. There was no successor. There was no heir to that throne. He still remains.
That's the only skateboarder I can name, to be totally honest with you.
Mm-hmm. Tony Hawk's existential nightmare.
No, he doesn't deserve an existential nightmare.
Pro Skater 3 still has a very special place in my heart.
Yeah, I think 3 is my favorite one too. It's so sad. They were gonna make a 3 remake in the style of that 1 and 2 remake, but EA's like, nah, and it's canceled that shit. It's so sad.
I would have rather them just do a 3 remake. We didn't even need 1 and 2. Just do 3.
The 1 and 2 remake is good though.
Yeah,
it is good though.
But 3 really was the pinnacle.
Someone mentioned Steve-O. I'm happy that Steve-O's doing good. Like, he had rough times, and rough times enough that he has a tattoo of himself on his back. Nope. there's only like so long you can last after that. I'm happy he's like fully sober and like healthy, and is like helping people get sober too. Like, good for him. Like, for real. I'm happy Steve-O doing good.
Yeah. That's what I want from my celebs. I want to see them just, age and just become people, and, maybe I occasionally see a post about them doing funny, silly things.
Yeah, that's all I want to. Genuinely.
Canadian Olympic skater called Mickey Papa, and name is stuck. Yeah, just
that is a good name.
Initially, I was just thinking, okay, so is this some? Obviously, the name Mickey has become completely tied with the mouse, and that my thought was, okay, is this now they're doing a riff with Disney, or no?
I was thinking Papa Murphy's or Papa John's. Honestly, that was my first thought, was pizza.
Gosh, it just... and then... Oh, gosh. Now I'm thinking about, like, the 2000s era of the Pizza Wars.
Oh, yeah. I mean... God. Personal... Did you do Book It when you were in school?
Oh gosh. I don't think it was called Book It, but as soon I heard you mutter like personal pan pizza, I was like, oh, I know exactly what she's talking about.
Yeah. Oh, do you want to? Let me show you something that might turn your bones. Do you remember the American Girl dolls?
Yes.
So, you know how they're always like, this is Elaine. She lived in 1823 and died of typhus, and she loved to churn butter. Like, that was what they were, like historical.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
But now. They did something. Oh God, I still can't believe they fucking did this. Oh yeah, no, you should be. You really should be. Hang on, where is it? So they did it.
And also,
they did
for any of you youngins out there who don't know what we're talking about with Book It, it was a reading program, and they had a partnership with Papa John's where.
Oh, it was Pizza Hut.
Oh, sorry,
but yeah.
Pizza Hut. Thank you. With Pizza Hut, where if you read a book and filled out this little slip, sometimes you need to write up like a synopsis, or it wasn't even a full book report. It was just a little thing. And then that you would give it to the teacher, and that you would get a certificate for a free personal pan pizza at Pizza Hut.
Yeah, it was great. I abused the system to the point where my teacher required a multiple page essay to submit it, because I read very quickly and burn through books I snapped my finger, but my hand was in my pocket. There we go, like that. There we go.
You've sent me a link for the Pizza Hut Book It set for 18-inch dolls, parentheses, historical characters.
Seeing this, really did it to me. The fact that, before it was
historical
butter
now?
churns and shit. Yeah, exactly!
I don't like this.
Exactly! And the worst is, they have, room accessories, and it fucking has a pink yin-yang and an alien mug. It's, this weirdly accurate,
Listen, they even have
inflatable furniture.
They even have, 2 named dolls that aren't shown in here. I'm gonna post this in chat.
Oh, yeah. Oh, my God. The one with the inflatable couch is really what kills me, because like I had that exact inflatable fucking couch when I was a teenager, and like now that's the equivalent of being the girl that died in 1823 of typhus, except you're depressed
like
millennial
kids
instead.
In the 90s, Isabel and Nikki participate in Pizza Hut's bucket program by reading books to earn a free one-topping personal pan pizza. And they even have the red plastic cups, which...
Of course they do! Of course they do! Why wouldn't they? Yeah, it's incredible. Like, I don't know.
Like, I'm glad the bucket program existed. You know, I think that even if you have to incentivize it with food and pizza, yeah, it's a good thing to encourage kids to read. And if you have to use a carrot to get there, I'm all for it. No problem with the bucket thing, and that, yes, it has become a bit of a meme for folks like us who remember it. But seeing it as an American Girl doll accessory set is weird.
Yeah, it's the fact that it is now the equivalent of a butter churn or like a stick with a hoop or whatever is definitely like...
And also just...
humbling.
And also just,
that's the word
all
for
the
it.
Brand collabs for them to do, American Girl doll was not the one that I would have bet on.
Yeah, right? I mean, it makes sense. I guess it is essentially historical. It's 40 years ago. I'm sure they were doing 60s guys in, you know.
It's not 40 years ago. It's not 40 years ago. It's not 40 years ago.
It was 40 years ago. It's 40 years ago, Mfee. I'm sorry. It really was. It really, really was. You know, so at least for a time, Pizza Hut let you order personal pan pizzas like for delivery, and I did it once because there's something about a personal pan pizza. It makes me think of bucket, or it makes me think of flying, you know, or like being on a road trip.
Yeah, it's similar to, you know, Green Mint ice cream for me.
Yeah,
Hershey's cooking cream. That it's that nostalgia thing.
The delivery driver sassed my ass over. He was like, you know, you could get more pizza if you just ordered one big pizza. And I'm like, I know this. I know I could get more pizza, but it's the form factor of the personal pan pizza is what I'm getting this for, you know? Obviously, I did not say these things to their face. No. And I'm like, yeah, I know. Like, but, you know, that was like where it started and ended. But like, I was thinking, you can't sass me over this. It's my personal pan pizza. That's why it has personal in the name, you know? They delivered it, and it was like clearly a box for a large pizza, and contained within were 4 personal pan pizzas.
Okay, well, at that point, I feel like it's very defensible that you're not ordering and having them deliver a single personal pan pizza that you were getting.
I should have. I should have been an insane person and done that. I've seen people do that with like Uber and like God, do you have GoPuff where you are? GoPuff is like I've heard of stoner-oriented snack delivery, and I've seen people order like a single brownie from GoPuff, like a single brownie. You could get it like fucking like, you know,
as soon as
7-Eleven.
Because at first I was like, GoPuff, like that's a weird name for a service, and then as soon as you said stoner, I was like, oh,
stoner. Yeah, they will sell like weed accessories, like they'll sell you like rolling papers and lighters, but then also like a panoply of snacks and then drinks and stuff.
That's actually brilliant.
Yeah, no, it makes perfect sense. Like, do you have any of those like late night cookie places near you either?
Oh yeah,
that's like the new thing now. Is I love getting cookies delivered at 2 a.m. I've done it before. I've done it more than I care to admit.
Insomnia cookies.
Yeah, and like there's like Subway cookie size. They aren't just like Chips Ahoy or whatever. They're like big old like Subway M&M ones.
That's the thing though, that yes, you know, those sort of gourmet Insomnia or name brand cookies taste good. I'm not going to pay $20 for, you know, after you count on delivery fee and tip and all that for a dozen cookies. I would rather
it's obscene.
I would rather, you know, you can buy that from the grocery store and get that, or just, you know, hell, get from Subway. Just actually, you know, get from Subway, and along with your sub, just, you know, order a dozen flippin' cookies and it will be cheaper. And
Subway Hong Kong had cookie pies. I didn't know those existed.
Wait, you've never had cookie pies before?
No, I've never seen them before. I mean, I don't go. I mean, Subway doesn't really have a ton for me.
Not from Subway, but you know, I've seen cookie pies.
I didn't know that was like,
or just like, you know, classic mall cookie places.
See, if I'm gonna go to a mall and get something like that, I'm gonna go to like Auntie Anne's. Mrs. Fields, she could take a back seat to Auntie Anne. She knows what she's doing. You know, or like a Wetzel's.
Ooh, Wetzel's pretzels.
I miss like a proper. Modern mall food courts, at least at the malls around here, are too gentrified.
Yes.
It's
fully
too
agree.
nice. I don't need wood fire oven pizza and like beautiful curry or whatever. I want Sbarro.
Thank you. I was about to say Sbarro.
I want Sbarro.
That
I
is
want
the
Sbarro. I
food
want
court
fucking
staple.
Sbarro. Sbarro and the Great Steak and Potato Company and a no-name Chinese place and like maybe McDonald's.
Maybe McDonald's.
And an Orange Julius.
And a rotisserie chicken place.
Oh, rotisserie chicken. Now see that one.
And
that one's not mall place to me, but that's interesting.
No, but it was always like a no-name rotisserie chicken place, or at most it would be a Boston Market.
Oh yeah, God, Boston Market. They're long gone by now, right?
I think Boston Market's still around.
Really?
Yeah, I'm almost positive.
Oh no, they filed for bankruptcy in February.
Oh well, dang. Well, because I was thinking, it's like I had Boston Market like a year or two ago. It hasn't but that's kind of sad. I like Boston Market.
Yeah, one of my favorites. It looks like it got owned by the pandemic, but
dang.
A restaurant I like got owned by the pandemic too. You know, Soup Plantation or Sweet Tomatoes. This is the same restaurant. It was like a salad bar, and then it was like a salad bar buffet thing, and it's like salad buffet, and then like bread and soup, and that was the whole buffet, and it was hella good, like really genuinely good. And the pandemic killed it, and it fucking hurts. It hurts to think about. Good salad bar is so good, you know.
Apparently,
yeah, that's
like
a questionable name.
News in the past couple days, just looking it up.
Oh yeah, what's the latest Boston Market update?
Apparently, Boston Market comeback has failed. That they were trying to like refile or something, and then that it's collapsed. I'm not going to bother reading this entire giant article, but I'm seeing articles published like 3 days ago about Boston Market. So apparently this is topical news, Mint.
Wow, we're on top of it.
Look
Shit.
at this.
We're gonna be a Boston Market influencer now. Open up my Instagram account as we speak.
If they weren't about to go bankrupt, I would take that.
That's fair. That's completely fair.
I would totally do a Boston Market sponsorship, no question.
Have this frozen macaroni and cheese, Oomfies.
Yeah, and just the cornbread there. Cornbread there is legendary.
Yeah. And Sweet Tomatoes / Soup Plantation also had really good cornbread and like focaccia pizza, that kind of bread stuff. Wait, Sweet Tomatoes is coming back to Las Vegas? Dude, okay, having spent a week there, because I'd never gone to Vegas to like go to Vegas, you know? Like it's always been passing through.
Yeah.
But I went to Vegas to go to Vegas a couple weeks ago with if you know them, Hina, Bobina, and Tom and Hannah Mimi, whose birthday it is, by the way. So please be sure if you know her to wish her a happy birthday.
Yes, go
I adore
wish
her.
Happy birthday to the Hen of Mimi.
Yeah, I love her. But like, I don't think I could handle living there.
Oh, living in Vegas? No.
I'd go and say, I mean, I don't know how to drive, so that alone would fuck me. Cause like, oh my God, I like, it's bad. You really, really need a car there. But it was really nice to be able to get Korean food delivered at like 5:30 in the morning. That was beautiful. Like, it was Tom, Mimi, and I, and we burned a joint down, and the sun was coming up, and we were all hungry. And we're like, let's order Korean food. So I got fried rice at 5:30 in the morning, and it saved my life.
That sounds incredible. 'Cause I've only been to Vegas 3 times, I think, and the first time it was literally an hour and a half layover at the airport. But that when I stopped there, you know, I walk out and I see, oh, holy shit, they actually just have slot machines here and there.
Yeah, I lost $40. I lost my last $40 of my gambling budget on a Wheel of Fortune machine at the airport.
And I was there and I was like, okay, this is literally the first time that I have been in Vegas. I'm not going to be leaving this building. I have an hour and a half. And what I did was I had a dollar bill in my wallet. And I went to the nearest quarter slot machine and I said, I'm going to play until I lose this dollar or I profit. First pull, nothing. Second pull, 75 cents winnings. So that means I am currently at $1.25. I cash out. Just because now I can say I went to Vegas and took the house.
Yeah, I almost took the house. I was playing digital blackjack at New York, and it's cool because it's kind of set up like an actual physical blackjack table, but you don't without the
dealer.
potentiality of without the dealer, and without like the potentiality of like upsetting the people next to you. That's what kept me from going to the real card table. Is like I was afraid like I'm not very good at this. I don't know the right things to do. So like I may very well like upset somebody who's there to be very serious about playing blackjack. So the digital one was great.
Blackjack players.
Yeah, exactly. Like that grandma could get real mad at me, like. So I was up $75. I was up $75 full dollars and then lost it all. The computer lady took all of my money, like all of it. It was like I tried a slot machine or two, and it was a little scary how quickly that made money disappear.
Oh,
like
yeah.
with blackjack, like my money was disappearing at a rate that I understood.
Yeah.
But with the slot machine, I didn't realize I had put a 20 into a $5 a spin slot machine.
Oh, oops.
And I pressed that button 4 times, and then that $20 bill is just gone in seconds. And I was like, wait, what? Did I do something wrong? Nope. Didn't do a thing wrong. That $20 bill just evaporated, and that freaked me out.
and that I've been to Vegas 2 other times. I've not gambled either time.
You probably shouldn't. That's
no real
I think
interest
how I feel about it.
Who was I talking to? I can't remember who it was, but they were telling me a story of at one point apparently there was Las Vegas has the most event venue square footage of any city in the U.S. and it's not close because all of these hotels, all of these casinos have banquet halls,
House of Blues and all that.
Every hotel has all this, and that for events, it is cheaper to run an event and host an event in Vegas than any other city because for events and
that makes
conventions,
sense.
your venue fee, like if this is going to be something in LA or DC or wherever, the cost for a venue rental is going to be a significant
through the
chunk of
roof.
it.
Yeah,
they will charge you an arm and 2 legs for the privilege to have crappy internet and a monopoly on food and beverages in the venue, and it's highway robbery. But you have so many of these things in Vegas. There are venues in Vegas that will pay you to use their event space if you sell their certain block of hotel rooms.
Oh, interesting. I guess that makes sense.
Organize
Yeah.
a thing at a hotel, and that you say, our event, we're going to sell 200 hotel rooms for 3 nights. They will probably give you like banquet space for free or at some absurd discount because there's so many places around that the real money for them is not in the rental space. It's getting the people in the door for the hotel rooms, but then also because that means that you are more likely to gamble on their property than any other property on the strip.
Yeah.
And that they
The
want
way,
people to
oh my
be
god,
there. That's how they make their money. They don't make their money off the venue. That's the perk. That the idea of, they'll give you chips to go gamble or that they give you, free comp drinks. That
I almost got one.
They will give you comp
up.
space.
That's incredible. I was gonna say I sat down and gambled and was offered a free drink. I was sitting there with Hina. And I'm like, just water, please. And then she orders like a fucking cocktail. And I just like, what did I do? Why did I get water? I'm an idiot. I could have got a free drink. I was too conservative. And I had that problem at the buffet too. I was terrified about being judged for wasting food. So I was conservative with my picking. I'm like, I'm only gonna get food that I'm gonna actually eat, even though no one else there was doing that, and no one would judge me if I got a plate of crab legs and
Always the crab legs.
Mimi went so hard on the crab legs. It was so fucking funny. She was obliterating those things.
Crab is also just legitimately my favorite food on the planet.
That's fair.
I love crab.
The buffet was pretty good for me because I eat mostly vegetarian. I was raised vegetarian and didn't have meat until I was 23, 24.
Oh wow.
And even then, so I keep it pretty
there...
always chicken and pork. So and pork's only kind of rare. What was that though?
I'm legitimately curious. The first time did you have meat? Did it cause any problems stomach wise? Because I've heard of people who
no, at least not chicken does. Mm-hmm. I've accidentally eaten beef since, mostly because Taco Bell has fucked up my order.
Oop.
and it does. That does make me feel pretty nauseous and awful.
I know some folks who have gone vegan or different diets for just different health reasons, and they're like, I'm fine eating meat, conceptually, that I'm not vegetarian because of animal cruelty, but that I like the diet of being vegetarian or vegan agrees with my body more, but that every so often I want to have a bit of meat just because, and that over time they find that actually eating meat does not agree with them because their body isn't creating certain enzymes anymore. And
that's exactly. I'm pretty sure that's it. I'm not I've never read any real
I don't know
scientific paper on it or something, but vibes wise that does seem to be the case.
But that it just your body doesn't end up agreeing with it as much. Oh god. And that you can that usually, from what I understand, can sort of retrain your body, that if you start eating it with regularity, your body will start making the enzymes and it'll situate itself. But if you just sort of have it out of the blue, that the body's like, what the fuck is this?
I don't know. It's probably a good thing that I don't eat red meat. It's probably honestly that it's probably good that that's just not in my diet ever. I'm okay with avoiding it. It's expensive and it does make me actively sick. The thing that I have been a fan of Taco Bell for a very long time.
Taco Bell is such a beautiful guilty pleasure.
In the 90s,
such a wonderful thing. Oh, 90s Taco Bells.
Yeah, and the only vegetarian options that didn't suck. God, remember when people okay, the thing that I remember most distinctly, the most pathetic childhood memories of mine, birthday parties at McDonald's. You've probably been to a couple, right?
Yeah. Classic.
Yeah, and going to those and only being able to have the French fries while everyone else is enjoying their nuggets and burgers and stuff. I just sat there picking at fries
until later. And even then, their salads were
awful. The thing is, there was no good. The only fast food place that did good vegetarian options was Taco Bell in the 90s. So I will always have a deep, abiding love for the Bell. Always, 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 always. That and Indian food. Because even at restaurants, vegetarian option was a wedge of romaine lettuce with Caesar's dressing dumped on it, and that was it. And then you go to an Indian place and 80% of the menu is vegetarian. It's we get fucked in America. They don't give a shit about vegetarians in this country, or at least at restaurants. I mean, it's I'm happy it's changed, but I will always love Taco Bell and always love Indian food entirely because it made me feel less insane. I always felt so bad watching my friends eat their hamburgers and chicken nuggets at McDonald's birthday parties. I felt like such an outcast,
Now I'm just remembering, different restaurant birthday parties, classic, the Chuck E. Cheese stuff.
Yeah, that was fine. Pizza was fine. Cheese pizza was always available. Yeah.
Chuck E. Cheese pizza was terrible though.
I mean, they sell it to you on a Grubhub and Uber Eats as a ghost kitchen now, I think.
Oh my gosh.
I think they're they sell their wings under a name. I forget what it is. I think it's Pasquale's or something like that. They if you've ever ordered Pasquale's on Grubhub or Uber Eats, you have eaten wings from Chuck E. Cheese.
Just fake enough to be related to Chuck E. Cheese.
And IHOP does the same with grilled cheese sandwiches and quesadillas. They run I fucking hate ghost kitchens. I will never order from a ghost kitchen. I can't do it. I don't trust it.
Yeah, just
because half of them are just IHOP and the other half is Buca de Pepo. So if you want a burger prepared in a Buca de Pepo kitchen that you're paying way too much for.
Buca de I've never heard of that one.
Oh, it is a bad Italian chain that serves very, very, very large portions. And they also operate as a ghost kitchen for a bunch of big quotes chains Mr. Beast Burger and a couple other of celebrity branded pop-up restaurant chains are usually cooked through places like that. Okay. It's wild how you can just overnight have a chain of restaurants in every city in the United States if you fill out the right paperwork.
Oh yeah.
It's crazy.
Oh my gosh. And I went to the Buca de Pepo Wikipedia page and just scrolling down, and it shows at Excalibur Hotel and Casino in Las Vegas, Nevada, and it's this
we passed
castle.
It's a castle. Oh my god, the castle. Oh my, okay, we went in there. It was right next to the New York, so it's an easy walk. And it was a castle made of cigarettes, honestly. That's what it felt like. Is that it still smelled like cigarette smoke. It was kind of brown and yellow on the inside. It was a castle made of cigarettes, and like the extra funny is like the outside is clearly made of like the same plaster that like the houses in the city are made of even. So like it was like this weird, like, I mean, if you start questioning Las Vegas, it starts to fall apart in a way, you know.
Las Vegas itself.
You can't question Vegas, or it falls apart. So you can't ask why about anything in that city, or you'll go insane. And yeah, 5,000 cigarette castle for 5G. Exactly.
What an incredible and illogical city Vegas is.
It did feel insane. It is a very, very strange place.
It is truly the closest thing that you get to actually just an adult amusement park in every way. And it's just so... Disney has its own incredible crafting of an experience for their attendees, and the way that they're able to sort of keep you immersed in everything, and that they'll do
$5,000 a night hotel to sleep in a bunk bed.
And that, Disney has these really subtle things in the design of their park that to get to the different themed lands and areas, they have them all such that there is no line of sight between them, that you have to turn a corner or you have to go under an overpass of just these very subtle things such that visually that they don't bleed into each other. And that's really cool from a design standpoint. And
you like Defunctland, don't you?
I actually haven't seen much. I've never actually seen a full Defunctland video.
How are you having this conversation and not have fucking watched Defunctland? Okay, that's insane.
I pick up things from places. But part of being a talk show is like, I'm a bard, I get stories, I love stories, and I get these different pieces. It's entirely possible whoever or wherever I heard this from came from Defunctland. I would be shocked if it didn't.
It is, he's speaking of in terms of storytelling, he's very good at it. I think Defunctland guy is. It's, there's spectacular content. I can't believe that.
But then
I'm surprised,
Vegas,
genuinely.
Which feels like, Vegas is kind of it's almost the lawful evil of attendee guest desigin of the classic.
Oh yeah, no, it feels labyrinthine.
Yeah,
we got lost.
That they deliberately design these places to be difficult, to just outright illogical to navigate because they want you to get lost. They want you to stay in there. They don't have windows because they don't want you to be able to perceive the passage of time.
Yup. God, we got a concerning text message from one of the Oompies while we were out, and we were like, okay, we should probably go back and make sure she's okay. And we were in the Excalibur, and it took us a solid half hour to actually find our way out of the goddamn building. Like, it was just so labyrinthine. It's crazy.
What if there's a fire?
Yeah, I mean, I assume maybe like it's like an airplane, and the path to the exits start light up or something. I don't know. That would be my guess. That's what I would do if I was designing it. But yeah,
sounds logical. Yeah.
Yeah, but oh god, no, it wasn't the Excalibur we were stuck in. We were stuck in the Luxor. The Luxor is scary. Like, have you seen the inside of that? That's the pyramid one.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the hotel rooms in the Luxor are up the pyramid, and the balconies overlook the atrium. And when you're not entirely sober, seeing the inverted inside of a pyramid. Yeah, but it was so much fun to look at and just sit there and look up at it, and then there's a food court there, and while we were there, all of the light was off. No, it had a fucking Johnny Rockets. That's how you know it's for tourists. So there's a Johnny Rockets there.
Johnny Rockets.
Oh, you all? I mean, that is
Johnny Rockets,
convention food.
Johnny Rockets is delightfully quaint in its own way. That, don't get me wrong, I have had and enjoyed Johnny Rockets more than one time, but it's a Johnny Rockets. Just, if it exists somewhere, it is a tourist place.
Oh, absolutely. It is made to sell America to people who don't live in America, 100%.
That you see you see it on cruise ships.
Yeah, or airports.
Yeah.
Or right next to convention. I feel to me it is a place I've gone to because I've been at an anime convention and it was a couple blocks away, and it's all that was open, or all of that isn't fucking and I'm thinking about the Seattle Convention Center. It's like that and Cheesecake Factory. And sometimes you don't want to go to Cheesecake Factory.
When I think of stereotypical, what are we getting late at night at a convention? It's Denny's. It's Denny's or IHOP, but usually Denny's.
Oh, fuck with Denny's. God, I miss Denny's. I haven't been to. I should have gone when I was in Japan, because apparently Denny's Japan is solid.
Oh, I could totally believe that.
Yeah, I did want to hit more like American chains while I was in Japan and Hong Kong, just like for funsies, because like it's fun to see the familiar through a different lens, right?
Yeah.
Because like I did end up going to McDonald's in Hong Kong. I avoided going to Japanese McDonald's, but I think it was mostly anxiety of, oh, I'm the fat American girl at a McDonald's. I didn't want to like experience that in Japan. In Hong Kong, I feel like it was a little easier to do. They still like fry their pies at McDonald's Hong Kong, so they had an Ovaltine pie that was like hella good. Like hella.
Ovaltine still existed.
Oh yeah, Ovaltine is in fact a really popular like cafe drink in Hong Kong.
Really?
It's really good. Yeah. Ovaltine, a Hong Kong Ovaltine is more malty than chocolatey. Like it's still chocolatey, but it has like a malt bent to it in a way that it is.
Malty drinks.
Do you like Horlicks?
I don't know what that is.
Yeah, that's like the ultimate malted milk powder thing. It's a really, like it's interchangeable with malt in Hong Kong. It's a really popular cafe drink too. Like iced Horlicks is so good. Oh my god, it's sweet malt drink and it's delicious. Oh, I miss it. I miss it. What is the curse of the Luxor? Also, I do know that it is the home to the brightest light bulb on the planet, which is insane. That was what like made me realize I should not ask why. You know, about Las Vegas is they have the brightest light bulb in the world at the top of a hotel shaped like a pyramid.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
That has its own like micro ecosystem of bugs that live around it, apparently.
What?
Yeah, it's crazy. I read an article about it while I was like in a cab there, because I was like, why? Like it has to like mess with birds and bugs, right? Having the brightest light. Apparently, it's like messed with the International Space Station. It's that bright, right? It's incredible.
There's a full
castle.
page, ghostcitytours.com, for the Luxor, and just has like 5 different things about the place being cursed.
It didn't feel that haunted.
No, I think that's just, you get a lot of drunk people and a lot of people that are on mind-altering substances of varying degrees at Vegas hotels. I think that's the
that
real
was
curse.
me. It was, you can like just smoke in the casinos. Did you know that?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. I thought that would be something that would have been banned like 10 years ago, minimum. But like I was sitting at a bar with the girls and I was smoking weed at the bar. Or I wasn't smoking. It was a vaporizer. It was like a weed jewel, which is wild. I didn't know those existed. Like it's like you just hit it like a jewel. It was nice, honestly, to do it inside. I didn't know that it would feel so like luxurious.
Yeah,
you know?
They have that for a good number of the bars, and I remember in the airport that there were these designated smoking rooms, and that if you were just passing by, that you inevitably, as people open the door to go in or out, that you could smell the smoke wafting out of there.
Yeah, you know, I think maybe this is maybe it's a product of being a millennial of a certain age, but I do find the smell of cigarette smoke like comforting. I know a lot of people hate it, and I know a lot of people think it's vile, and I understand.
For me, I usually don't like it, and also just that it bothers my sinuses actively.
Yeah, oh yeah, no, me too. I'm made of allergies, essentially. Like, I understand that part.
That it's like
acutely.
Certain cigar smoke, palatable. Can totally palate cigar smoke. Cigarette smoke, not so much.
Yeah, I don't know what it is about cigarette smoke. I mean, like, it kind of just reminds me of like being out with people that I know. So like, it's just like this.
If it's sort of like that, very
nostalgic.
Light, if it's that sort of light, okay, you know, you're in a place where the carpet smells of smoke very slightly. That it's not like no one's smoking in there at that moment, but you can tell that a smoker lives there, and that it's sort of the more environmental aromatic smell. That can be a bit more quaint to me. but in terms
That
of
just
like,
active cigarette
active
smoking.
cigarette smoke.
Yeah, okay, that
never
makes
cared
sense.
for it.
Yeah, every casino in Las Vegas definitely smelled like cigarettes were smoked in there at some point. And like it seemed like most people moved on to vaping. I'm sure everyone appreciates that because like if you're gonna allow smoking indoors, I might as well have like the least acrid kind of smoking. Like I use like a vaporizer dab pen in my own apartment. Like I would never in a million years smoke in here because I mean I live like in a huge building and I could never be the neighbor that's stinking up the whole floor. You know, I would feel so bad.
Yeah, every so often when I'm walking to my apartment that in the hall smells like, oh wow, that's pungent. Fortunately, even if it makes it into the hall, it doesn't get into my apartment, so that's good. That I'd be probably complaining. Like if I can smell in my apartment, sorry,
that's
like I'm not gonna.
Yeah,
I'm not
that's
gonna bother.
Just being rude.
I'm not gonna call the hotel or the apartment management over if I smell in the hallway. Whatever. Don't care. You live your life. I'm not gonna bother it as long as it's not affecting me and my space.
Yeah, exactly. It's I mean, that's why I really like that vaporizer. Like it smells like maybe like in like a 1 foot radius around my chair that like disappears in like 30 seconds.
Yeah.
So like I am completely okay doing that. But yeah, like I'm always like afraid of getting yelled at by my neighbors, like for being loud, and so having another vector, like potentially to get yelled at.
Yeah.
So that's why I definitely vape instead of smoke in my apartment. Also, you should probably not like smoke indoors anyway.
Yeah, probably. But I do want to take a proper trip to Vegas because, like I mentioned, I've been 3 times. The first time was that layover. The second time was there was a job interview there, and that I was visiting. I have some extended family that lives just outside the city, so I stayed with them for like 2 nights and then was gone. But again, like they drove me like during the day down the strip just so I could see it. And then there was one other time that I was there for an event. It wasn't TwitchCon, but that I was there, went to the hotel that I was staying at, and went to and from the venue, and that was the extent of it. And the closest thing to a Vegas experience I got was after the event was wrapped for the day. It was late and I was hungry, and that I went to get White Castle at 1 a.m.
You know, I've had the onion nuggets from White Castle, and it's very disappointed. I feel like those should have been better.
That White Castle and Crystal and the other, square burger places, they all taste the same to me. I cannot tell the difference, but I enjoy them all. They're very quaint. They're good. They're cheap.
They're cheap. Yeah, that would be the big thing.
Yeah.
Oh, man. Yeah, Vegas is more fun than I was expecting. Like, cause I don't know. You can tell from my disposition, I'm not the clubbing type. Yeah. So like, it was like just a lot of walking around and finding good places to eat and
Did you see
chatting.
any shows?
Nah, we just hung out. We did a lot of just like fucking hanging out and talking. Just like lots of really good like long talks.
Yeah.
That's always like such a good feeling when you're hanging out with friends, especially ones that you're meeting in person for the first time. Or it's a very trite analogy. People have made it 1,000 times before, but like sitting on that white plastic lawn furniture at like 2 a.m. at a party.
Yep.
It's kind of how it felt the whole time. And it was great. It was like actually really good. I feel like it's really silly to think that I experienced like character development at like just a trip to Las Vegas for fun, but I kind of did. I felt more at peace after going to Las Vegas somehow.
That I love sort of hearing the secondhand stories of, it's happened certainly in the VTuber community more frequently over the past couple of years, and part of this is a function of VTubing had its rise when people weren't traveling or going out as much.
Yeah.
But now they are, and that everything from conventions and just these trips or like people post about went skiing with such and such, and just like I imagine it's like, wow, I'm so happy for those people that I see these things like that's so cool that they are going out and doing those things. Like I don't even want to know like what happens or what the discussions are, but I know those discussions and those good moments are happening, and I'm really happy that they are happening.
It was like, what is that? Like, I don't know. I was utterly terrified of meeting them, and I still, it after the fact got described as like a nervous dog, and that's accurate. That is genuinely how I am. That is my disposition. But like, it was worth it. I'm happy. Like I haven't that was the first time that, other than the Japan trip, I mean, I this is the first time I traveled alone since the pandemic. I went to Japan with some family, Japan and Hong Kong with family. But then, yeah, that was the first time that I traveled on my own since 2018. Oh my God, yeah, no, so it'd been a while. I mean, I have like, it's not, no, this is fine to say. Like, I have like actual like OCD, like not like funny internet, oh, my room has to be in the OCD, like actual, I stub my toe and I might die OCD. Like, you know what I mean? Like, that's like the thought process that it creates. So the pandemic was rough. Yeah. And I actually turned down the trip to Japan and Hong Kong like a couple years prior to. And so like I actually took it and went, and now I'm no longer mentally ill. Yay! That's all it takes, it turns out. But no, like, it was rough. I'm happy I was able to like actually get on a flight to another continent and then also meet insane VTuber women. It was good. I love doing this shit like so much. I really do. It's so cool that like people want to like come and just like hang out and chat, and the fact that you wanted me by to come and hang out and chat. It's exciting, you know?
Yeah, and it's just the meeting people that you've only met online is such a unique generational experience, I think.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because it's, you know,
the closest older people to get would be like meeting a pen pal.
But yeah, the interactions in terms of frequency and depth that you would get with a pen pal is microscopic compared to what you have people in, you know, nowadays. The fact that one, you're able to have full and proper real-time conversations, hear their voice, and
see their face more recently. I guess that's more recent, but yeah, like, yeah, it's wild.
Yeah, and even now that you know, VTubing is still so young, and that we were talking about how being around for 3 years means that you're seasoned, and that there's still a lot of people who have not met in person yet, but either hope to or plan to, and that it's, I'm interested to see if and how the broader landscape will shift as people continue to go to more events and meet in person, because a lot of the anonymity of VTubing that people early
that aspect of it is good. I think
that it's good, and that that it is something that is interesting to see people navigate and choose what they are comfortable with and what is best for them.
Absolutely.
Because there's this sliding scale of
absolutely.
Some people never ever go to events, or if they do, they never ever post about it. Others, you know, others are going to actively live blog like yours, but that if they live blog, they may or may not post photos. And just, I'm glad that, you know, there are these options. There's no wrong way to do this, that people are able to make their own choices and figure out, okay, where is my level of comfort? And it's fun seeing people get out and do things to whatever extent they are comfortable with.
Yeah, like, what was I gonna say? I think definitely meeting other streamers in person is something worth doing. And like, I'm a crazy person when it comes to like my privacy, and I prefer it that way, and we'll keep it that way. But like, I hate saying the word because it sounds cynical, but it is a good way to meet people. It is a good way to make connections with people. It's a good way to say, I hate saying this word, to network. It's so cynical. It makes it sound like it's insincere interactions, right? When you say that, when you hear that, you think, oh, this is a cynical ploy or whatever. But you gotta meet people. You gotta talk to people. You gotta get yourself out there. And that's a difficult thing. I think maybe it's because of, you know, like the media that I watched growing up and stuff. So like it's the media I watched growing up, and like, you know, like, of course, you know, I wasn't like all the other girls. I didn't care about celebrity gossip or whatever and stuff like that. So like, I definitely had a disposition or a predisposition to not feel comfortable like with self-promotion and just like going and meeting people and stuff like that, because like I would,
it's such a balance.
Internally cast it as cynical. Yeah, but it's not cynical. It's completely reasonable to do.
Yeah.
It is. It's not a bad thing. And it feels weird to say that. I'm not sure what, like, even me of like 5 years ago would think about what I'm doing, because like, I don't know. My before I was VTubing, I was working like for social services and for, you know, I was working on a doctorate, and now I'm technically an entertainer, and I never in a million years could have seen myself going in that direction, and that's weird, you know?
Yeah,
it's
finding people discovering VTubing and just content creation as a whole, that it's so cool because, like you said, there's a lot of people who never ever imagined it, or that they might have
not for a
wanted to do
second.
some other thing that was tangential, and they sort of fell into this and thinking it might be one thing, and then it spiraled into other things of just there's the different origin points for people. It's really neat to think about how people wind up where they wind up.
Yeah, like you really, I always thought like it was an annoying platitude, like in movies and in books, where like, you know, you really never know where you're gonna end up, like and you really don't, like, you genuinely don't. It's so weird to just like imagine the path from you know, being like an academic and, you know, being really serious to going to something that's kind of silly, I guess. You know, like, not silly as in unimportant, but silly as in less, what's the word?
It's amusing, perhaps.
Yeah, I mean, and it's also like a less formal environment too. Like, there aren't really rules to follow. There aren't like, what's the word? Like, there aren't, I'm so sorry, I'm struggling with the words here. But like, it's more human, I think, which is nice. In academia, you have to be really fucking serious with the people above you at all times. And there are people obviously above us in VTubing, and it's okay to say that. There's stratification there. There is an A-list and a B-list. That's just how anything with popular, or not popular, but public figures is. Yeah. So like, but that is way more informal and way more human and less terrifying to navigate, I feel like, you know?
And I think part of it is, since content creation and VTubing in particular are so new, that any hierarchies, you know, A-list, B-list, A-tier, B-tier that you might have here, is the magnitudes are lessened, with, you know, a couple of exceptions, but that a part of it also being academia has had literal centuries,
thousands of years
to establish its traditions and its standards, and that as the world has progressed, certain things there have not, because tradition. And fortunately, since VTubing and even content creation, that even if you go quote unquote far back in content creation and say, I don't know, 2005,
yeah.
that just the amount of rigidity that has been able to set in just by a function of how relatively young it is, means that the space, I think, like you said, ends up being more human, and that
it's more democratic. It's more widely accessible. Like, I mean,
and also just the fact that, unlike
academia,
that you don't need degrees, you don't need formalized training. Anybody
exactly,
can
that is you're going on your personality, and that's rough. Also, I guess you can't, like, I definitely had to tell myself when I was like, you know, like initially like getting comfortable doing this and going on a schedule and eventually getting to the point, you know, where I'm paying my rent doing this, right? Like, you can't like pin all your validation, or you can't like pin your emotional well-being too hard on this, or you'll go crazy, I think. Like, you don't want to like you don't want to feel too validated from this, or you might go crazy, you know? Like, I like to say they're driving some validation, but if you go too hard into it and then something goes wrong, or, you know, like a stream doesn't do as much numbers as you think it does, it can just tear you apart. And that was definitely a difficult thing to get over at some point, you know? It's weird to think about that kind of thing, like worrying about numbers, and it feels weird too. You have to balance it, and it's hard to learn the correct balance of worrying about numbers and just actually enjoying doing this shit, you know? Yeah. And some people like really drown in it sometimes, so I wish I could help more, you know?
Yeah, and especially that when it gets to the point that content creation is paying your bills. That
Mm-hmm.
because then, okay, there is reason to pay attention to such things. That
Yeah,
for me,
exactly,
that,
exactly.
I do this as just unmonetized fun passion project. This is a thing that I have specifically designed. I don't look at numbers. I always say, do not do the things that I do if you want to be a successful content creator. There's a myriad of things of how VTuber Talk is designed that is comically antithetical to anything smart. That I didn't even intend to make this show so beautifully scientifically designed to be repellent to growth.
Oh,
I
yeah.
sort of realized it after the fact that just, I wanted to set things up so I could have a flexible schedule. I wanted to be able to schedule around my guests, do it about once a week to avoid burnout, not do too much, and just, have a good time. But then sort of after the fact, I realized it was like, well, if you want to grow, first off, only doing collabs is a terrible idea. Only streaming once a week is a terrible idea. If you're only streaming once a week,
gotta do consistently multiple times.
Once a week with an inconsistent schedule because you're scheduling around the guests, that's a terrible idea. Not taking affiliates so you can't get subscribers. The subscribers are, that is people paying to incentivize them to continue to be around. There you go. I don't run a Discord server because I did that once professionally and I never want to do it again.
Professional? Wait, okay. I'm sorry to stop this, but what does that actually entail?
I did community management for a time.
Like, were you like just like a mod, or like
No.
were you like running events, or like what is?
I ran a server for a company.
Oh, interesting. Oh,
And
I kind of hate how like the internet has
never wanna
become
do it again.
Discord.
I never wanna do
Very
it again.
understandable. It's so annoying. Like if you want to like find like a mod for a game or something, you have to like join a Discord to like read an FAQ or something for it. It's like, oh, I downloaded this cool mod on Nexus Mods and no one's talking about it there, but they're like, join the Discord and now you can ask, like, oh,
Nope,
I don't wanna join the Discord.
That
I
is
never want to join the Discord.
not doing it, and that having a Discord is a big thing for growth because it helps
Oh,
sort of
yeah,
foster
absolutely.
community and gives another way for notifications. I don't care that all these other things that VTuber Talk is working exactly as designed right now.
Well, good.
But that I always say, never ever look to me as an example if you want to be a good content creator. If you want to look to me, look and say, all right, what does VTuber Talk do? Do the opposite. Do the opposite.
You shouldn't be that hard on yourself, but I understand your
'cause
analysis.
like,
That's
I'm very
understandable.
proud of what I've done with this show, that I have a
Hell
lot of
yeah.
pride in the show and how I run it. But in terms of if you are looking for, channel growth and metrics and trying to make this so you can pay your bills, don't look to me.
That's completely reasonable.
I'm doing it
That is
in every way
completely
wrong.
fair.
But that, similar to the thing of privacy, that for me, I'm doing this exactly as I want to do it, and that I am, like I said, I'm fully aware of what I could do and what I could change if I wanted to potentially, again, to sort of use
Easily.
a
You got
terrible,
the flow
terrible
for it easy.
business term. If I wanted to scale the show,
Yeah, right. It does feel bad to use business terms, doesn't it? That really is it, just flatly. You don't want to see it as a business.
But I'm not going to do that.
Oh God. God, I get so stuck on that. Like, it's an industry.
Yeah,
It's an
and it is-
industry.
It is that for better and worse, it is, and that for folks that are making their living off it, that you do have to pay non-zero attention to it. But I certainly I know many people who have been able to find healthy relationships with their numbers.
Yeah, you gotta find the healthy one. I'm there. I'm definitely there. I don't think I would have been able to continue if I didn't.
Yeah.
I think
I feel like every content creator who is trying to make their living off of content will, at some point in time, have their number existential crisis, and that if they are able to escape from that existential crisis and sort of have whatever personal epiphany of, this is how numbers are right for me, that if you can do that, that is a big step as a content creator, and that those
Oh
who are
yeah,
able
absolutely.
to have whatever epiphany they need for themselves and figure out that solution in healthy relationship, that's when people, that's a paradigm shift for people.
Oh, absolutely, 100%. 100%. I completely agree. Like, yeah, the healthy relationship is the right metaphor to it, because like you can really, really drive yourself fucking insane. You really can. It's easier than you think, I think. No matter how psychically strong you consider yourself, when you're putting yourself out there in any public way and you're not getting the exact level of feedback that you expect, it can be brutal. It can feel bad. Like, absolutely. Like, no question. Because it is you putting yourself out there, and it feels like a personal judgment. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then
like, it's your personality that's on the line there.
Yeah, and that
and
you can
it's
tell yourself,
rough.
that you can know and you can fully understand logically that numbers are not a representation of your self-worth, but then there is the very human reaction of, even if you were telling yourself logically, that brain does not always work logically. It's
kind of what OCD feels like. Like, yeah, rationally I know that stubbing my toe isn't going to lead me to being in prison or dead, but you still think it anyway. You know, it's very easy to the fancy therapy word for it is catastrophize. It's definitely an accurate word for the way a lot of people think about this kind of thing. They making a mountain out of a molehill, like, for real.
It's sort of,
people need to go easier on themselves, is what I think.
People need to touch grass, and sometimes touching grass can be in Vegas.
Yeah, exactly, man. I've been touching grass like once a week. Not literally, because it'll make me sick. Yeah, no, I am allergic to everything. Yeah, I'm allergic to dogs.
Don't worry.
Isn't that the saddest fucking thing? Isn't that the saddest thing?
I am allergic to cats and most dogs.
Me too. Yeah, me too. And like basically every flower and grass and plant on the fucking planet. Like, I don't know what the weather's been like near you, but like we've had like multiple like fake starts for spring, and all of the flowers are confused.
Oh
and
no!
It's spring tier of pollen in the air. I spent like 2 weeks just completely smacked on Benadryl as to not like die.
my allergies are usually in check. That I take, sort of generic brand antihistamine every day, and that usually keeps there. But then just every so often, without warning, my allergies will just sort of sneak up behind me, tap me on the shoulder, and punch me in the face.
Yup. Oh man, I understand that. I mean, like,
I was fine yesterday, and now I'm sneezing. My eyes are watery, and that, and it'll be like that for a day or two, and then I'm fine again. But sometimes it's just like I've had days where something gets caught in my sinuses, and I cannot for the life of me get it cleared out, and I sneeze myself into exhaustion.
God, yeah. The worst is like how like after a bit, like the like areas around your nose will get like a little raw, like because you're like wiping your nose off. Like, oh my god. Okay, you know what? Actually, I've completely reversed course. Never touch grass. Yep. I will never touch grass again. Just thinking about this, I can't impose I can't impose allergies on myself like this.
Like actual psychosomatic symptoms right now. Like my nose is now like the tiniest. Yeah. It's like, damn it.
Thank you for having me by the way.
No,
I don't think I actually said that at the beginning.
You did. Don't worry.
Did I? Okay, good. I always self-perceive myself as way ruder than I come off, I think.
No. Do you have any places that you would like to take a trip to, whether it be on your own or with others? After
going to Hong Kong in Japan, I think I really want to go to like Ho Chi Minh City. I want to go to Saigon. I want to go to Vietnam. I think Vietnam is next on the list. Because like has become more modern and more rich recently, so like it wouldn't be like an especially big hassle for even my prissy first world sensibilities, like I would be fine in Vietnam. And so like I want to go. I want to ride a moped without a driver's license. I probably shouldn't, and definitely, almost definitely wouldn't, because I have seen what Vietnamese traffic looks like, and I like being alive.
Yeah.
You know? The Hong Kong taxi drivers are the scariest people on the planet. They're like all old guys that have clearly been doing it for 1,000 years, so they're very good at their jobs. But
that also means that they have confidence, and their confidence. Wow,
their confidence is doing drifts and shit in a cab.
And
it's crazy.
And it's the type of thing that while the confidence may be earned, and maybe, well, statistically you are gonna get to where you are, and they aren't actually gonna crash. But if you're not used to being in a car doing those things, even if you have the trust in the taxi driver of, okay, I trust what they're doing this because they're confident and they don't want to die either, it's still scary.
Like, they were doing just, like, straight up, like, initial D shit. Like, just straight up. Because, like, the hotel I was in Hong Kong, like, Hong Kong is, like, kind of built into a mountain. So there's a lot of hills. So, like, they were just, like, drifting around corners, like, over precipitous drops to what would definitely be our deaths. And they were drifting. It was, like, an actual, like, because, like, Hong Kong is split into, like, 4, like, cab regions, and the cab you get in changes. Like, it depends on, it's, like, the color of the cab is where you are. And it's so weird. It was like an actual, like, Hong Kong cab. This wasn't just like some random guy, and this is just how he drove. It was like he was an initial D, but instead of like teenagers, he's like a 65-year-old Chinese guy. It's really fucking funny. They were scary. They were scary. And
I'm guessing you've been in a New York taxi cab at least once.
Oh yeah, of course. That's like nothing in comparison.
I feel like most New York taxi drivers are relatively calm, but then there's like 10 to 25% that are just, they're in that similar vein of they've been doing this for a very long time, and they know the timing of the lights, and they're just gonna step on the gas, and that they have no problem just very aggressively honking at anyone who honks at them, and they'll get you where you need to go, and they'll probably get you there quickly, but it's going to be an experience. And
I can't imagine, actually. Like, I don't know. I don't drive, so the idea of, like, honking a horn seems like a social faux pas in a way that I could never do. No, I've
driven in New York City a small number of times.
Oh God, I'm so sorry.
I do not enjoy driving in that city. I'm a very confident driver. I'm very comfortable. Highway driving, no problem. City driving in general is a pain in the ass, and a lot
New
of
York
it is,
especially. Holy
but
shit!
New York is its own beast. That the only thing that's sillier than New York is DC, because
oh my God, I was with a
DC
friend with a car in DC. It's insane.
New York's layout is perfectly logical. It is annoying, and people are aggressive, and there's not a lot of space on the road, but streets and avenues, it's a grid.
Yeah, it's a grid. DC's
logical.
got like weird Masonic imagery in its street design.
DC was designed to withstand a siege. DC was designed that what was it that you would be dealing with in the day and age that it was developed? Land-based armies, that if an army is marching on DC, they wanted the pathways because, back in the days, marching armies, drum beats and whatnot, that they're generally going to walk in the streets, that there is no stealth in warfare at this point in history, that they set up all of those roundabouts because you would put cannons on those roundabouts as armies would march around. Think of like literal tower defense.
I love
DC
that.
was designed
it's
as
balloons,
a tower defense
finally.
city, and that as the city modernized, where do you put your streets? Very naturally where you have your footpaths designed to withstand a siege, that they never bothered to think of, maybe we should redesign our roadways.
Nope. Hell no.
They couldn't do that because they already had buildings on all these other places, so they're stuck now, and they have this stupid, illogical, for modern sensibilities, road system.
It's an incredible
driving
city,
in there. It's great, but driving is a pain.
Yeah, like I was there with a friend who drove in, and
Thank God for GPS.
She used the car like twice, cause like parking in DC, it's $70 fucking dollars. 70, not 70. And like, I mean, I live in the fucking Bay Area and nothing even gets close to that much. Like, it's expensive as hell and it makes no sense to have a car here. But like, $70. Yeah, and I don't know. It's cool. At least the Smithsonian is free.
That you have GPS on your phone, Google Maps, Waze, whatever app you use, and even then, it is still stressful and difficult. I cannot fathom what people did 25 years ago when you don't have
not
GPS.
a damn clue.
Like, even
it printed stuff out from MapQuest is what they were doing.
Even in the era of MapQuest. It's so difficult, and especially when you're dealing with turns in like quarter of a mile. All right, my MapQuest printout says, all right, I stay on this road for 3/4 of a mile. I can't tell if that's 3, 4, or 5 streets down. And are the signs with the street names all in visible positioning? Not always.
I love it. I have like directional madness or something. Like I get lost walking in a straight line. So I am really, really thankful for how good GPS shit is now, honestly.
Even in cities where I know that I need to be truly comfortable in a city to not use my GPS, that I just reflexively, even if it's, unless I've been to a place like 20 times, or if it's an actual straight line to get there via driving, I'm probably using GPS.
Do not, okay, I can tell you, here's a Japan tip. If you're at Shibuya Station, do not rely on your phone's GPS. It cannot compensate for, Shibuya Station is labyrinthine at like the mildest. It is a scary fucking train station. Because it's a central station for the city, right? So like every line passes through and it is built that way. So like when I got there, it took me a full 20 minutes to get out, just because like the wayfinding wasn't like really consistent, and it was so scary. It was so scary and so busy. It was like easy to get around otherwise though. Like the Yamanote line like got me everywhere when I was in Tokyo. It was amazing. It was cheap, like really, really cheap. I hope you do get to go, because I had an unbelievable time, honestly. Yeah, also, you know what? DC Metro, also very solid.
DC Metro is pretty solid. New York Subway, pretty solid. Boston T, surprisingly solid.
Yeah! Boston's such a cute little city. Yeah. It is kind of like a little city. It definitely punches above its weight, but I think it's cute. And then DC is like the coolest city, and like a third of the people there don't deserve a city that good. Like, it's deeply frustrating that politicians and their little buddies, they get to live in this beautiful city with amazing art and museums and culture, and like all the regular people got pushed out, you know? It sucks. It's a beautiful, beautiful place. Like, way better than I was expecting. And all the Smithsonian museums are free.
Yes,
they're so free.
Good. Just Air and Space Museum. Love it.
They just finished renovating that, apparently.
Oh, finally, good. Because I was about to say, I don't know how long it's been since they renovated, because I know that from the time that I was like 5 until 20 plus, that this Air and Space Museum was 80% the same. It was... Yeah,
they like rebuilt like a huge chunk of it and moved exhibits around and stuff. It's done now, I think. But man, it was so cool. Like the fucking backup moonlander and like a piece of Skylab. It's crazy.
And like Museum of Natural History is super good.
Yeah.
And, like after you go to DC, you get so spoiled, because then you go to any other place and it's like, wait, I need to pay $30 to go into a museum?
Yeah, what? I went on a road trip specifically, like with a couple of friends to, okay, this is the dorkiest fucking shit, but we went on a road trip to go to museums. We drove from...
That feels like a fine road trip, because the thing is, if you're going to a city that has a museum, there's probably other stuff there too.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, of course. Like, it was from Bay Area to DC and back.
Oh,
it was that kind of road trip.
The full span of the US.
Yeah. So like the Field Museum in Chicago, it's spectacular, but it's also like $60 a fucking person to get in. I mean, like, you did that in the context of the Smithsonian. Oh, it was so good though. I love it. Have you been to the Field Museum?
I have not.
It is stunning. It's wait, no, that isn't the one in Ferris Bueller's Day Off. That's the other art museum in Chicago. Either way, it's incredible. It's where the zoo is. You know, the most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex like skeleton in the world. She died of a tooth infection. I didn't know that. It's scary. It also like kind of I don't know, not beautiful. But like it's amazing that even like this like apex predator has died from something so mundane. Like you can see it like on the skull, like the like hole in the tooth and like the jaw, like the jaw that was like eaten away a bit by the infection. It's really cool. Like, oh man, it's amazing to see in person. Like you kind of don't expect the size. Like you know they're big. You know a Tyrannosaurus Rex is huge. Like of course. 'Cause man, I mean we've all seen Jurassic Park. But it was still just seeing it there and it's the actual bones, you know. It hits different. Same with like art museums. Like went to an art museum in Kansas City. It's the Nelson Atkins. Also free. And also probably one of the best art museums I've ever been to in my life. And they have like a display of Babylonian tablets.
Oh wow.
And it almost is kind of like a religious experience because like they're dated, like this is from 3000 BCE or whatever. Yeah, and I'm standing there in 2020 or whatever. And it's like, wow, this crossed the gulf of 5,000 full years to end up here. And it's like, it's
yeah, just, I hear Babylonian tablets and it sounds like science fiction. I know it existed, but it was like, you know, seeing those types of artifacts feels just like, you know, half of it feels like science fiction, half of it feels like magic.
Yeah, like, it's also really fun to photograph. I know that's a really goofy thing to say. Like, I do photography as a, as a hobby. And, taking pictures at zoos and museums is a really good way to learn, like, how to compensate for light and moving subjects and stuff. So I really like doing that. And it's real fun. Sumerian and Babylonian tablets are fun to take pictures of because it's cuneiform, you know, like the writing system. It's just like it's a system of wedges. So like they use like a reed to dig out little holes in the clay tablets, and that actually makes it like really interesting, like shadow and light, because it's not just like ink on paper. It's like actual divots in this, you know, 5,000-year-old clay tablet. So it has like this beautiful way of like catching shadow and light. And here, I can send you a picture that I took myself.
I'm trying to find, there's some art that I saw a while back that was really unlike anything else I had ever seen in a museum.
There we go. I sent the example that picture I took myself. But you see what I mean? Like the indents and like the angles of like how the reed like dipped into the clay and like the way the lighting interacts with it. It's so cool. I like photography. I don't talk about it a lot because I don't know, I'm not good enough at it yet. But I do like photography very, very much. It's relaxing and it's fulfilling. I like it. It keeps me going to like the local zoo and local museums like often. It's good. What was the art you were gonna say?
I will bring it up in a second because there's two exhibits that were just they were mind blowing to me, but I'm gonna bring up yours first. So let's get this one in here.
It is a very large JPEG.
Yes.
Sorry.
Gotta resize this.
I have a DSLR and everything. Like I really actually like went all out.
The sizing of this is not going to do it justice. But I'm going to show it with us still visible at first,
That's
but
fine.
then I'm going to scale it and basically just sort of.
You don't gotta. It's fine.
So we have this and just, you know, you can see the little intricate markings, and at first these reeds, I thought those were feathers. I'm gonna just, you know, totally mess up the screen here with this, but to let people really see the detail and all this.
Yeah, it's amazing. It's just all done into clay and harden, and that's it. It's really amazing looking. But yeah, like see the shadow and light like with the wedges? It's really cool. It's so cool.
Just think about this being made.
Yeah, 5,000 years ago.
What was the environment that people were sitting in as they made this? That
God, probably miserable.
Just that think about what were they probably wearing when they made this? Of just the fact that we have this here and that one, it's still in such pristine condition.
Yeah, like the fact that like the details like in the feathers and stuff still very like visible this far in the future is crazy. Keeping an early civilization. What is that? What does that mean, Umfi? Huh? Oh wait, okay. I that's an okay bit. That's an okay bit too, Pi. I wish I could link you this Flickr album of like, I don't know if this link will work. It bums me out because I took a lot of really, really good pictures in Japan and Hong Kong. I did, when I got back, I called the segment Abroad. What do you think?
Oh, yes.
I think it's a great bit. Abroad. I was extremely abroad. I had never, you know, left the continent. So like it was all new and I want to go back. You better have a really good time while you're there or I'll be really upset. It's so good. It's so good. Like there's so much to do and so much to see. Like the fact that I only got like a week and a half in Tokyo was almost a bummer in retrospect just because there's so much I still want to do, you know? It's incredible. Oh, Nakano Broadway. You gotta, I mean, you'll go to Akihabara, right? You will go to Akihabara because you're a dork, so of course.
I'm having to talk myself down. I was like, okay, I'm going to go there, but I need to know, spend 2 days there, maybe, but don't spend the entire trip there.
I can tell you though that the arcades are woefully underventilated. So the temperature in any of those arcades in Akihabara is like about 6,000 degrees after about 5 seconds. But like it's really fun to visit Akihabara, but also if you want to like stock up on like retro nerdy stuff, there's this place called Nakano Broadway. And it's like this beautiful like 1960s like shopping arcade and mall, and like it was amazing. They had like it was like all focused like on retro stuff of varying anime and video game stuff. Like there's like a Golgo 13 display, and someone had like a custom made Lum from Urusei Yatsura leather jacket hung up, that kind of thing. It was super cool. Like I spent like $400 there. Totally worth it. Worth every penny. They even had like an entire store dedicated to retro train merch. And not just like, here's a t-shirt that the Yamanote line put out in 1980, but like actual, like here's like a conductor's hat or like a piece of track or something. It was like that niche. It was awesome.
That's cool.
It was so cool. It was so cool.
I found the 2 exhibits.
Oh, yeah.
That have stood out for me over time. That I am someone, I like to think I'm able to appreciate most art. That some things I will find more interesting than others. There's certainly some exhibits that I could stare at for a very long time, and others that I will look at for 5 seconds and be like, that's neat, walks to the next one. There's certain types of minimalist art that frustrates me.
Are you looking like a Rothko? Like, what's going on? I'm excited. Show me.
I went to the MoMA one time, and there was a couple of exhibits there. There's some incredible stuff at the MoMA, man. There's some amazing things.
I've been to the MoMA, yeah.
There was also this.
Oh, I can't wait. Oh, wow. Wait, really?
That's a yogurt lid.
That's badass, actually.
That is a yogurt lid that was nailed to the wall.
That
was the exhibit.
What's a good art word? It's
this.
Transgressive. Also transgressive. They all clearly are about the mindlessness of consumerism, question mark.
That I can understand certain things of symbolism in that.
Yeah, no,
items can have
it
meaning.
is silly.
It frustrated me that square footage of a gallery of that prestige, there were any number of other things that they could have displayed on that wall other than a yogurt
I get
lid.
you. I get
And
you.
I-
That's completely fair.
And at the same time, I can't figure out, do I just deeply respect the absolute gall of the artist who probably was able to get tens of thousands of dollars from the MoMA for a yogurt lid from a bodega that still has the 99-cent price
I love
tag
the
on it.
99-cent price tag on it. I love that part. Like I have seen art that was just as like I don't want to. Man, this is okay. I'll send it to you, but reading the description will make me cry. But like, in terms of similar simplicity, the one I linked to you is 2 light bulbs, and it
That
has a
sure
lot
is
of meaning.
2 light bulbs.
You should hit the gallery label button. It's pretty. It's an incredible piece of art, and the fact that there's that much meaning in 2 light bulbs. I don't know. Maybe there is a story behind that yogurt lid.
I hope there is a story behind the yogurt lid.
Yeah.
I really hope there is, and that because that would make it certainly more palatable.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully,
like,
maybe it was
don't get
like
me
one of
wrong,
those
I can-
yogurts
I
that
can
comes with
appreciate-
sprinkles.
There you go.
That is good. That is good. You know, and it makes the yogurt like a whole bunch of different colors, even if it eventually averages out to brown.
So we have.
Do they even make those
here-
anymore?
I don't know. Probably. So this is Untitled March 5th number 2.
It's
That
really
is the.
good.
Not only
It's
is it untitled, but it
beautiful.
is titled, dated, and numbered.
It's really good.
That's impressive.
Yeah.
This is by Felix Gonzalez Torres, and the gallery label. Felix Gonzalez Torres was a gay rights activist whose subtle political commentary included personal statements on the emotional devastation of AIDS. In 1991, after his partner Ross died of AIDS, Gonzalez Torres created numerous memorials to him, including Untitled March 5th number 2, which commemorates Ross's birthday. Here, 2 factory-made light bulbs shine together to suggest a pair of lovers in one shared point of illumination. Although they glow brightly in unison, one bulb will inevitably burn out before the other.
That's the part that killed me.
reminding
That's
us
the part that
of
killed
the
me.
transience of human relationships.
Isn't
and the
that
temporality
brutal?
of life.
I don't know. That's powerful. That got me. Like, I cried, like, in the gallery. Because, like, I mean, it's a pretty powerful way to represent it, right? Like, it's good. It's real good. Maybe the yogurt story is that they didn't get sprinkles with it.
I hope there was some gallery panel that I just missed for that yogurt lid in that
let's
shoebox.
see yogurt lid MoMA. I wonder. I mean,
Yeah,
I'm
'cause
sure other
I
people have
looked
talked
up.
about it. Oh, there's like a whole interview about it.
Yeah, that's Gabriel Orozco. Orozco, Wisconsin said he did not want to do something that was a grand gesture or an elegant spectacle. He wanted to do something that would confuse people and perhaps disappoint people. Mission accomplished.
Yeah, wow. It's like literally the opposite end of the spectrum of the light bulb description. This is LMAO, I had this in my apartment, let's see what I can do with it. And then the other one's like 2 lovers who are now separated, and like, oh my god, the difference.
Orozco likes to catch viewers off guard, and he likes to challenge himself. He knows that he's a good maker of things in terms of craft, but that cannot be the point. And so, to make sure that that was not the point, he decided to have his first exhibition be about placing these yogurt lids on walls, and I think it is safe to say he succeeded.
Yeah, and you know, like, God. I guess he succeeded in like making you think that there should be other art there, I guess. I guess there is a statement to be made there, I guess, question mark.
He gave me a greater appreciation for every other exhibit in the gallery.
Yeah, sometimes you need a hype man.
Sometimes you need something that is just something to give you perspective, I suppose.
Yeah, there you go. And the perspective is that his yogurt came without the sprinkles, and he was very sad.
Dash in chat mentions a thing about the art exhibit that was thrown into the trash by a cleaning lady because it looked
classic
like trash. Yes.
Classic.
My guess is that's why they probably had to nail that on the wall, because if it was on the floor, it would have been picked up.
I would have picked up the yogurt lid. I would have. I was gonna say, fucking in Tokyo, I saw one piece of litter the entire time I was there.
Wow.
That blew my mind. No litter, and also no public garbage can. In fact, I don't understand how. It is insane. It didn't feel real. But one piece of litter I saw, I like literally picked up myself and brought it back to my hotel to throw away. Because I was like, wow, this is so out of place. No, there are no public trash cans.
That's so interesting.
Just straight up. Like, some vending machines will have like ones for cans, but beyond that, no. Like, none. That was definitely like the most culture shock thing that I felt. Other than it feels like an alternate universe in some places because Yahoo is dominant over Google there. Because of SoftBank. Yeah. So like places where you would see Google logos in the US, it's fucking Yahoo, and it's like, what the hell happened here? It's so strange. That and I saw at least a couple like outside smoking boxes with Philip Morris branding, which they could not show their faces in America. Like, the smoking was a lot more normal there than it is here. Going back to the cigarette conversation, like it was interesting. Same in Hong Kong. People smoke like chimneys in Hong Kong. But that's also true of like mainland China. Like, smoking is just big there. I mean, like, up until the early 2000s, the Japanese government owned a tobacco company. Like, they were incentivized to have loose restrictions on smoking. Yeah, like, I didn't know that until relatively recently, but yeah, that explains why there's so much smoking in Japan. That's why I avoided, like, pachinko parlors, because I feel like if you went into one of those, you'd get emphysema, like, instantly.
Oh, yeah.
Like, instantly, like, breathe this air for 1 second to get emphysema instantly is how it felt. Like, when I walked past them, like, you could smell them at, like, a distance of, like, 200 feet. Like, it was, like, that smoky.
Now, I'm still kind of baffled at Yahoo, because also, it'd be one thing if it was, like, you know, a Japanese brand that had retained relevance and dominance in Japan, but Yahoo certainly is not a Japanese word. Yeah,
it is Japanese owned now, I think.
It is now.
But yeah.
But that's so interesting.
Too.
Oh yeah, well 7-Eleven, I know about the Konbini wars.
You know, Family Chicky was as good as it was hyped up to me as.
I don't think when I go that I will go to many American restaurants. I will absolutely go to all three of the major Konbinis. I buy the Family Chicky. I'll have. I don't know if 7-Eleven and Lawson's are known for anything in particular, but I will get stuff from all three, absolutely.
I got a pizza bun from 7, or no, not from 7-Eleven, was it a Lawson or a 7-Eleven? Either way, it was like a traditional like steamed bun, but it had pizza shit in it. It was amazing. That sounds really good. It was perfect. It was garbage in the best way. But yeah, the Family Mart chicken is like legitimately really good fried chicken, just straight up.
And that makes sense. Like, even in the U.S., you can get good, you know, like gas station fried chicken, or, you know, like Royal Farm.
Not on the West Coast. We get screwed. We don't have anything like Sheetz or Wawa out here.
Aw, boo.
Not anything. Like 7-Eleven at most has like roller taquitos.
Yeah, and then the roller taquitos are like, if you're in a pinch and you're really hungry, it'll do the job.
I like the long chicken nugget that they sell from it. Like was it called? The buffalo chicken roller.
Chicken roller, yeah.
I haven't had that in forever, and I imagine that is mostly petrochemicals, but
almost certainly.
I do like them.
Oh yeah, I remember that there was a time that, you know, if I was like doing a long drive to visit a friend, that I would make a point to try and stop at a 7-Eleven, and I would get either like 2 buffalo chicken rollers or like 2 of their different grill roller taquito things, and they are good. They they are mid-quality fast food.
Yeah, exactly.
They certainly exceed what you would think of in terms of stereotypical gas station food.
Yeah, then like Sheetz and Wawa has like real food.
Yeah, and then Sheetz
and that makes
Wawa
me
is
jealous.
Just, like, really good. That you're gonna get stuff that's better than a Subway at a Sheetz and Wawa. You're gonna get
I
stuff
got like
that
a
is better than
chicken
KFC.
cheesesteak thing at Wawa, and it was amazing. But here's the ultimate like convenience store thing you need to do. You need to go get you need to get spicy Fammy Chicky, and then you need to go across the street to the 7-Eleven that's inevitably across the street,
of course,
and get an egg salad sandwich. And then you open the egg salad sandwich and put the Fammy Chicky inside, and then you eat that, and it's amazing.
Oh, that sounds like alchemy.
It was. I clapped my hands, and then I had an amazing fucking egg salad sandwich, chicken sandwich. It was incredible.
Because it's just, at that point, it's chicken salad. It's
chicken
and egg salad.
It's extra frustrating also, like, in retrospect, like, the quality of, like, ingredients at every restaurant, even convenience stores, was so high compared to the US. Like, the average quality of food there is just higher. Yeah. And it's really noticeable when you get back, especially. That and also, all the bathrooms, all the stalls have floor-to-ceiling, like, dividers.
Oh, that's the good stuff right there.
Floor-to-ceiling dividers and bidets. And the bidet, depending on which one you are, will also automatically just play trickling sounds, so no one knows that you're peeing, I guess.
The ambient. That's brilliant.
Yeah, even the fucking airport ones had that, so I guess it must be common, right?
Yeah,
it has to be if it's at the airport.
It's sound masking at that point.
Yeah, I mean that's exactly what it is. But also, like, my hotel room had it, which was weird. I where is it? Hang on, I definitely. God, I post too much stupid shit on the computer. Where is it?
Now, speaking of gas stations and fast foods, in your travels, have you ever been to a Buc-ee's?
No, I completely have missed out on Buc-ee's. I want, like, most of my travel has taken me, like, over the South. Like, the most I've been to Texas is Amarillo. And that was, like, for a night. Not like to visit there. It was weird though. The Taco Bell lady asked me to have a blessed day, which, being from godless California, felt strange. Obviously, I was like, "Thank you, of course." Like, I'm going to never be weird about it, but it was strange to hear as a godless Californian. But like,
the Buc-ee's.
I would like to. I know. I've heard. I want to go.
Frustrating how good that place is.
I want to go. Buc-ee's. I want to go to, like, I would love to go to, like, Austin and New Orleans. That would be my South trip.
Yeah.
I'd love to get to New Orleans before the ocean takes it back. Like, genuinely. I would like to visit it. Like, I read. I understand what's happening. I gotta go soon.
Yeah.
I want to have a beignet. You know?
I've been to New Orleans a couple times. Went for a week with my family a couple years ago, actually. Like 2018.
How was it?
It was cool, and that just, the food there is really cool, and getting to walk around.
Excited for the food.
I never went to Bourbon Street or anything, but know, that went to different historical areas, went to a couple of museums, got beignets. We did make a point to do that, and that there is a lot of very good food. That Cajun food is one. It's so different from most other cuisines inherently, and that it's really nice. It's good stuff there, and that all of it is just, it's all real food.
Yeah, it's hearty, right? Would that be a word that you would use?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like it when it's like that. It's like food for people who are like going to go to work.
And that even the cheaper places feel higher end, not necessarily in terms of like aesthetics. That there's especially downtown that you'll get the sort of like greasy spoon vibe, or just that they certainly lean into the festive and stereotypical elements of New Orleans, but that
get beads.
Not quite that, but just there will be art on the inside, that the walls will be just these beautiful murals, and that the food, it doesn't taste like you've gone to a Boston market. It tastes like actual home cooking.
Yeah, it's not Cisco. Once you learn about Cisco,
yes,
you get disillusioned with like nearly every restaurant in America. It's really obvious. Like once you recognize, like, oh yeah, these are Cisco chicken strips. Oh yeah, this is a Cisco steak. It becomes obvious very quickly, and you get really disillusioned and frustrated with like nearly every restaurant. Gotta be careful.
Oh yeah. Do you have any personal favorites in terms of just, you know, the stereotypical American fast food chains of just whether it be like, and this can span from like drive-through fast food, but also I'm talking, you know, Red Lobster,
fast casual.
Olive Garden. Yeah, fast casual.
I do have a soft spot for Olive Garden because any place that gives you infinite bread is fine by me. Honestly, they used to have this thing where it was like unlimited breadsticks and soup and salad for like
soup, salad,
$9.
breadsticks.
Yeah, that's difficult to beat at most places, but like for fast food, I really have a soft spot for the McChicken. I not to like do for me it's the McChicken me, but also for me it is the McChicken. It is like it actually is.
I'm so frustrated that it's no longer $1 McChickens.
That's not being. Oh man, that hasn't been the case here in fucking like 15 years.
Like, I remember, you know, in college that I could go to McDonald's and I would get like 2 McChickens, two of the like, you know, double hamburgers or plain hamburgers or basic hamburgers, and a sweet tea, and that was $5.
Damn.
It was one.
God, yeah, no, it's always been expensive in the greater Bay Area, but like it's only gotten more expensive. Like now it's like buy one get one for like $1.50 rather than buy one get one or buy one get one for whatever. It's always like buy one, it's like half the price of it. Like, oh great, awesome, thanks.
No, that it's gotten to the point that for a lot of things that I don't bother going to fast food because I would rather pay $4 more and just get a significantly better meal.
Yeah, I don't understand this McDonald's of all places. The price is spiking that bad. It's crazy.
Yeah, there's plenty of, like I said, I think that the sort of mid-grade places are the ones to go to now because the places that used to be super cheap have increased their prices more than the mid-grade places, I feel.
Yeah, that's definitely the case. I mean, luckily I live in the middle of the city, so like getting not chain food is like really like I will tolerate paying 80% of my income to rent for the fact that I have a choice of Ethiopian restaurants to go to. You know what I mean? Like I can't give that kind of thing up. Like it's worth the premium to be here just for the food.
To a good selection of food and restaurants, just you know, certain cities will have that, and it's something that, like you said, it's a huge difference of that, and then going to an area where, okay, the only options nearby are franchises and fast food of just,
yeah, whenever I visit friends who live like way out in the suburbs or like way out of like major city, it's like, I could only go to Cheddar's so many times. You know? Because, oh my god, you know, me saying that out loud, the Ethiopian food thing means I think I might end up ordering Ethiopian food tonight. You ever have?
It's been a while, and I've only had once or twice, but now I'm just thinking about all the places near where I live that within basically a 10-minute drive, I can get most types of cuisine, and I found my regular places, the place that I have go to that, you know, there's a good Hawaiian place, there's a good ramen place, there's a good chicken place, there's a good sandwich place. That I live in an area where there are lots of options of, you know, solid quality. That it's not crazy. Like I said, it's that good solid mid-grade.
Yeah, that's like locally owned mid-grade is okay. Mid-grade makes it sound quality, like a quality thing. Like mid-market is the fancy guy way to say it. Yeah. Upper mid-market, middle market.
Yeah, that you're not breaking the bank. That it's good food, good portions. Just Lilac and Lily's Hawaiian food's so good. Just if you can find a good Hawaiian place near where you live, it is so nice. And just
Hawaiian places are good at serving just like fried crap too, like in a good way. I mean, fried crap parenthetical positive.
Yes.
Like onion rings and stuff.
Yes. That, or just, even the most basic of, okay, it's Hawaiian chicken on rice of just, or like Hawaiian barbecue, like even the basics served up in a styrofoam container, but it's, you know, the meat's done really well, and that the seasoning or the sauce is really good, and that, you know, you're gonna get a big portion for like $12-15.
God, man, I'm hungry. Shit. Like,
well, it is sort of getting around to dinner time for both of us.
Yeah, it is. Whoa, it's 5. Oh.
Surprise.
It's 5 p.m. How did that happen?
Time flies when you're having good conversation.
Yeah, dude, thank you so much for having me again. Like, I definitely probably do have to cook dinner soon. Not to, like, take my leave in that manner, but yeah.
I'm realizing the same for me as well, so it's all good. I do have just a couple of last questions that I always ask my guests.
Of course.
And first is, do you have any goals for the rest of the year that we're only about a quarter of the way, or holy crap, we're already a quarter of the way through 2024?
Yeah, a whole fiscal quarter.
Take
wow.
your pick.
Goals for this year. Honestly, I'd just like to get my average readership up, and dating my new 3D model, who the person doing my new 3D model, she is a genius. I am so lucky that I was able to like lock them in at their previous prices, because they are fully justified in charging probably 3 times what they charged me. Honestly, they are so talented. It is absurd how good they do 3D, like crazy. Yeah, I don't know. I would like to have, like, I know it's simple, and I don't know, maybe it's selfish. I don't know. But yeah, it's like, I would like to have my views to grow more, because I really like doing this and want to do more.
Yeah. And the last question I ask all my guests is, what does being a VTuber mean to you? And that's not the definition of what is a VTuber, but different people get different things from VTubing. I've had people say, being a VTuber lets me get in touch with my inner child, or lets me be someone that I can't be in real life. I've had others that say, I like my model, it's cool, I don't have a particular emotional attachment to it, it's something I use as an entertainer and a content creator. And those are 2 very different responses, and there's a sliding scale between and beyond those, and there's no wrong answer, there's no wrong way to be a VTuber. But
no, absolutely not.
For you, MINTCASTELLA, what does being a VTuber mean to you?
What does being a VTuber mean to me? You know, it's... I do definitely have an emotional attachment to the model. The model is me, and I am the model. You know, like, there's full permeability between the 2, you know? It is a representation of me, and always will be, and... what is it? What does it mean to me? I just... Honestly... just being able to have this outlet, because I like to talk. I like to talk a lot. And honestly, it's a good medium through which to get out that urge to just talk and talk and talk and talk.
Sure
really,
is.
It really is. I genuinely just enjoy being able to just meet so many people from so many different places, from so many different walks of life, from so many different perspectives. And it's so much fun to use this as a way to just like get to know people, I guess. You know, it is a very elaborate form of socialization, ultimately, I think, for me.
I always ask that question at the end because...
It's a very James Lipton-y, I like it.
And it sort of puts a bow on things, and that after talking with someone for a couple of hours, even if I don't know what the answer will be, the answers always make sense.
Yeah, I hope mine made sense. I've been stumbling over my words for a bit now.
I think you're quite good with words, Mint. Don't worry about that.
Thank you. Oh, thank you.
And the actual last question is, who would you like us to raid?
You know what? It's Mimi's birthday.
Oh,
so Mimi.
How many hours has she been live for? Because when I glanced in at the stream last night, and she was at 36 hours on the timer. I don't know. She had to restart. She might have had to reset by now. Yeah.
Yeah. So her current stream's been on for almost 5. I think she's.
But she's been.
I think she's
actually
just
going
away in the bathroom, but yeah, no, she's been going for quite a while. It's her birthday. I love her. Absolutely one of my best friends in the whole fucking world, so she definitely should get the raid.
Yes.
Day 3 of birthday. She is playing all of Final Fantasy X. You guys better wish her a happy birthday, or I'll be disappointed.
Be very angry with you.
Yeah. Can you tell how mad I get? I'm angry all of the time.
I have angry emote.
I have a button somewhere that makes me sort of angry, but not really. I've this, but that's not really anger. That's just being flustered.
Also,
I got this. Oh, here we go. There, that's the kind of.
Oh, that.
See? Yeah, you got it.
Also, thank you to Skaterboy86, Zakana Deman, Teddy Beauregard, Blankrasp, and Jim Henson's Funeral. How dare you?
Jesus, what a name.
That's awful. That's awful. Ugh. But thank you all for the follows. Hope you enjoyed the show. Thank you.
Yeah, I hope we
thank
did
anybody
okay.
who was around, and whether you were here for just a couple minutes or if you've been here since the pre-show. Really appreciate you all stopping by. If you're interested in stuff like this, I do these, like I said, about once a week. Just here on Twitch and Twitter, Vtuber Talk. Like I said, no Discord. But that's about it. I'm a simple little guy. Hope you all
You did Susan on Saturday, right? Like Susan was by.
Yep.
I love Lazy Susan. I'm so happy she's back.
Yeah.
Sorry to like Midwest goodbye this outro, but
Oh, no,
man, I
you're
missed
good.
her. I am so happy she's back.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like streamers are very, very guilty of Midwest goodbyes.
Oh, absolutely.
Very, very guilty. It happens in person too, which is super funny. We're like, yeah, okay, we're gonna
also,
go. Like you jingle
it's
your
not
keys,
even
but then you have a
Midwest goodbyes.
2-hour
That's-
conversation.
I've seen that happen everywhere. That I've heard people call it, like the Southern goodbye. I've heard people call it.
It's the whatever region you consider most
whatever
quaint
it
goodbye.
is. Yeah. Also, big guy for you. Thank you for the follow as well. But we're gonna send things over to Mimi. Be sure to let her know
Thank
that
you.
Mint sent you all. Again, thank you so much for tuning in. Have a great rest of your day, and I will see you all next time.
Bye, Oofies. Bye.